Good evening, everyone. This is Mike the Piper, and welcome to another session of Heart of the Empire, session number 8. I am joined, of course, by my 4 incredible players that I'm so honored to be playing with, and to let you know that this game and this campaign is brought to you by the Tides of Change role-playing game club. Check it out on Facebook. It's a fantastic opportunity for you to get into a good group, learn about Fantasy Flight Games Star Wars. It's also a very interesting thing where you have an opportunity to help vote on changing the very story itself that I am telling and make all my prep mean squat. So without further ado, I'm going to quickly recap the events of what led to this session. After meeting up with the Black Claw saboteurs, members of Havoc Squad formulated a plan to grab the Bacta from Unit 88's stash in Warehouse District 183 Bravo. They met up with their 2 X-Wing co-pilots, Osoge and Kavmerick, and they got ready to infiltrate, find out where the Bacta is, attack using the Blood Eagles, which is probably the most interesting use of local fauna. And capture the Bacta and blow up the Warehouse District. And of course, as far as Star Wars games go, their plans were for naught. Upon infiltrating the Warehouse District, both Mercer and Varick ran into a bit of a problem when a squad of Stormtroopers entering the warehouse that they were in, a warehouse full of ordnance such as thermal detonators and grenades, always a good place to be in, began to open fire on them. Mercer knocking out 4 of them and killing 1 of them, unfortunately, was at a terrible cost. Varick suffered grievous injuries and was definitely laid out pretty good. Saved only by the miraculous inspiration that Mercer gave everyone in the form of a lucky die roll for extra wounds. Meanwhile, the Black Claw saboteurs are very excited to be able to stick it to the Empire, as it were, by joining in Havoc Squad as they attack the Warehouse District. And Kojimal being in talks with them, especially the Black Claw saboteurs feeling kind of a connection with Kojimal, as the Weequay species and the Vratix species both communicate through pheromones. And also the Salin, the Quarren pilot, is getting ready with his motley crew of wingmen in preparation to lure the Blood Eagles to the Warehouse District. So without further ado, let me introduce our fantastic players, starting from my very far left. Dennis, if you could introduce yourself, plug all the particulars, and tell us about your character.
I'm Dennis, as our fine host said. I don't really have anything to plug other than Tides of Change and OSG. Tonight, as previously, I'll be playing Varick, an Arcanian offshoot assassin. As was mentioned, he's in a bit of dire straits at the conclusion of our last adventure, so it should be an interesting session when we start out here.
Awesome. Next up, we have Devin. Devin, if you could do the same, please.
Hello everyone, I'm Devin from the YouTube channel What the Dice, and I'll be playing Kojimal Hajima. He's a Weequay saboteur, and he's very excited to finally blow things up for the glory of Amshak, his god. And it's great to be here and ready to see how our plan comes together or unravels.
I don't know what you're talking about. What? That's crazy. Gabe, next up, if you could also introduce yourself and all your particulars.
Hey everybody, this is Gabe B. I'll be playing Mercer once again, trying to get his team to get that perfect plan going. And as far as he knows, it's still on the go. But you know how things are, and well, I have a bad feeling about this.
Indeed. And of course, last but certainly not least, John, if you could introduce yourself, your channel, and plug all the particulars.
Hi, I'm John from Red Dice Diaries, and I'll be playing the Quarren Ace, Salin Naval, in tonight's session. And I'm shortly looking forward to flying an X-Wing very quickly away from a horde of marauding giant bird creatures, which I'm sure will go absolutely fine with nary a hitch. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that goes.
Indeed, because nothing could ever possibly go wrong when you're trying to escort live creatures to attack something. Live wild creatures to attack something. Piece of cake. Basically, the mission writes itself. So, that being said, let us begin session number 8 of Heart of the Empire. As the blaster fire rumbles to oblivion across the warehouse district, or at least across the warehouse itself, Mercer, you notice the light repeating blaster, which is in extremely good shape, and that is the one thing about the Imperial Stormtroopers that is fantastic, is that they do keep excellent care and maintenance on their weaponry. The 4 Stormtroopers that you have stunned lay on the ground, some of them moving, but just barely. You can tell that they are most certainly not dead, although one is definitely dead, having been shot pretty hard by you. And you also see a few typical blaster rifles, carbines scattered along the ground. The door to the warehouse district still remains open, and you look around. You can't really see your partner, Varick. But this is what lies before you. The computer console still blinking, flashing that green enter password, enter password, enter password.
Grabbing the gun, I'll actually head to one of the live troopers and grab his comm and kind of listen in on what it is. And kind of like listening to what kind of interference is coming in, kind of troops, because I know they're coming in. And I'm like, Varick, they're going to be coming soon. We need to get into either position for defense or get the hell out of here. Varick. And then I'll quickly get up like, oh, he's not answering. Why isn't he answering?
As you begin looking around, you'll see him in a kneeling position, resting against the wall. I push to my feet, and as I turn, Mercer, and there's almost a questioning hesitation in the way he says your name as he takes a step forward, then collapses to the ground.
Yeah, quickly drop the gun, running to his side. Look at me. What happened? And I'm looking at basically the bullet, the laser holes and everything. I'm like, Varick, get up. You're not allowed to die on me now. And then I'll quickly try to look around. I mean, I know I got one on me, so I'm going to have to reach in and grab a healing stem. But it's like I want to make sure that, I'm getting some kind of response. I know he's hurt, so he's going to need it either way. But I'm just trying to get a response from him.
I imagine that you're using that military commander voice that you have, and that seems to rouse him as, although his features are hidden by the mask, his eyes focus as he fights off the darkness that calls to him. And I'm here. We need to go.
Keep your eyes on me, and then I'll just stab him with the Sempec right on his neck, right in the main vein, and try to get him healed up that way a little bit. They're on their way. I'm not sure how long we have, but keep your eyes on me, and then I'll just apply the Sempec.
Okay. So as you are healing him up, and you'll have to forgive me because I'm not 100% certain about the stim packs and how they work. I can't remember if it's a die roll or if it's just you heal a certain portion. 5? Thank you. All right, so you heal 5 wounds as you could feel the surging back to like just going through your system, just kind of moving. You feel invigorated, but at the same time, the pain in your body from these burns and these blaster this blaster fire is still pretty intense.
So it's almost like the scene for any of those that have seen that famous Pulp Fiction scene when he stabs the stem into me. It's instantaneous reaction. I sit up, jump to my feet, invigorated as I look around. That was said, the healing arousing me, bring me to full of my senses, only makes the pain of my wounds more acute. But not being unused to pain, I try to push that in the background as I try to focus on Mercer and the situation to hold back the pain as I gather my weapon and prepare to move out.
And Mercer, what would you be doing at this time?
Do you know of a way out? We need to get out. Our plan is not to attack it. We haven't even found where the Bacta is even kept. I know the door we came in. Do you think we can make a hole in the back somehow and escape that way? Where we're sitting, we're dead ducks if we stay here. Did you see anything?
Now, we were provided a map, correct, of this
yes,
area?
That's correct. So here, I'm just going to... I never know if this is going to work, but we're definitely going to keep on trying until it does. And I will try and screen share the map so it does work. So we got here, screen share, no. Okay, unfortunately it doesn't work for me because my computer hates me. Thanks Windows 10. And thanks Obama. Which, I don't know, that seems to be a thing that you guys are doing these days. So we got here, Yeah, sorry. But basically, if you were like to look at the map, the warehouse that you are currently in is in like the top left corner. Is also how you got there, and is basically right next to a wall. Maybe, like 40 feet between the wall and the actual warehouse itself. So by walking out the door, you'll see a wall about 40 feet away, and then that's pretty much it.
So I'm going to, as I remember, we're in 18301, the very top left one.
That is correct.
And where our fight took place, we're near the doorway.
Well, where you are basically near the wall, and yes, you're right by the door to the actual warehouse itself.
So I'm going to try to basically look out and see if there's anybody in the immediate area.
Okay. So as you poke your head out, you currently don't see anything. You just see a kind of an empty area. But if you could please make me a perception check of difficulty of 3.
Oh, crap. Okay. I'm sorry, you said 3?
Yes.
And that's the purple dice?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. 2 failure and 2 advantage.
Okay. So as you poke your head out and you have a look, you don't really hear. You obviously cannot hear anything at all. However, as you're looking out, you kind of see a shadow begin to move, but it's not moving organically. It's just moving in a very straight and determined line. It seems to be coming down upon the left side, kind of near where warehouse 18302 is, which I think I can actually do this now. Nope. I guess no one can see that, can they?
I can see a shape, but it's black in the middle to me.
Okay, well then that was just a waste. So basically, where 18302 is, looking down to your left, you just see a shadow that's starting to crest and about to come around the corner in your general direction, and is coming towards you. Given the light, given the way the position of the sun and everything else, you can definitely tell that it's coming toward something is coming toward you and about to turn the corner.
We need to move out now. And I'm going to take off and head in the opposite direction to try to get around the corner of the building that we're at, nearest, by where the wall of the compound is.
Yes. Not a problem?
Yep. And then heading out, and then a quick glance. Basically, I'll pick up the gun, and then just for measures, because I'm already seething and raging, I'm just going to hit the one guy in the face with the helmet I took. And then take off, and then try to figure out which way he went, and then try to follow Varick unless I can see him real quickly.
Okay. So here, let me see if this will work now. Yeah. Now I got it to work. Right,
I can
everyone?
See it. Yeah.
Yep, I can see it.
There we go. Ha. Ain't no computer gonna be smarter than me, no sirree, Bob. So can you guys see? Let's see if I can. Can you guys see this pointer?
Yep.
Okay. So you gentlemen are basically heading out here, going out this way, correct? Because the shadow's coming this way. Okay. So let's make this your path. Okay. So as you boys head out here, you make it to about right here, and you hear a very loud, kind of a sound. It's like just like just this very loud mechanical, stomping sound, and by the sound of it, you figure it's approximately around 183B, or excuse me, 183-8, and is heading towards you.
I'll continue running because not knowing exactly what's happening, but I'm sure Varick will probably stop me, and I'm going to try to make that turn into the turn. And
Okay.
I have a feeling that was the wall we came over anyway, so I figured.
So the wall you came over was basically right here. That's essentially where it is. Like, here's the door, and you hopped over around this point, around the corner.
Okay, then that'll make it a little easier. In fact, instead of I was going to make that turn, what I'll do is I'll go to the position where I know where we landed, and I'll put my hands out and basically kind of folding them to basically help Varick get over. So hopefully we'll do a team jump over the wall.
That, I think, could be definitely Doable.
Yeah, I think that him putting his hands together like that and would be kind of a universal thing. I would immediately know what his intent was, so I would begin running and prepare to leap off as he pushes me up.
Okay. So make me a coordination check as you basically he basically flips you you kind of flip up and then give yourself a boost die.
I will also spend a strain to get my innate boost.
Sure. And forgive me. So this will be a difficulty of 2.
Difficulty of 2. Check. Big money, no whammy. I'll take it. So it's 2 successes and 6 advantage.
Yeah. So what? Basically, that's like a triumph and a half. So as you easily scale this wall, and not only do you scale the wall, but as you scale the wall, you actually kick a portion of the wall out, and you're actually going to make it easier for Mercer to climb up. So Mercer, as you kind of leap up, and I'm assuming Varick's going to try and give you a hand as well as he sticks up on the wall. So then you're going to give yourself a boost die as well as you leap up. However, before you are able to leap up and reach for that handhold, you see around the corner what looks to be a camera device, but a small droid, probably about the size of maybe a little bit bigger than let's say a large turkey. And it's hovering. Basically, it is hovering, and you can tell like as soon as you move or just like even one jerk, it's automatically following you. Like basically, it's got like a bead on you, and everything you do, it is looking at you. You see a strobe kind of on the back. It begins to kind of pulsate a red, and you hear a voice coming through the droid. Good afternoon. Now, why would 2 individuals such as yourselves be coming into my warehouse district? Forgive me, please. My name is Major Durant. I am in charge of Warehouse District 183 Bravo. I see that you have taken care of one of my Stormtrooper squads. Unfortunate, to be sure. However, do not think for one moment that we will not find you and kill you. And of course, killing you would only be if we are feeling generous. And then as you are listening to him talk, you can actually hear the sound of that heavy metal stomping beginning to get a little bit closer and a little bit closer.
All right. How close would it be? The droid?
The droid?
Yeah.
No, the droid's probably about 40 feet away from you, give or take. So
it's at a medium.
Yeah, so I mean, it's maintaining distance, but I mean, you can hear this voice, like it's very audible.
Now, is it audible from its speakers itself, or am I getting it from the helmet?
It's audible from the speakers itself. From the helmet, you don't actually hear anything.
Okay. Well, I'm not quite sure what to do. I mean, I can't. I mean, man. Because I probably wouldn't have let him do his full speech if I was going to shoot it, just so I can get out of there so it doesn't videotape. or record or anything, and then I have this other thing coming around. Crap.
The heavy metal stomping now you feel is almost around the corner, and the video this camera droid or surveillance droid is holding its position, and you hear again, good, yes, stay right there.
Yeah, I don't really know that's how we'll get it go that far, but wow, this is hard. I don't even know what to do, to be honest. I can't get over the wall without him seeing me. I mean, I have to shoot it, but if I do that, I give away my location, which is already there.
Tell you what, make me...
Quick question.
Make me... Oh.
I was going to say, is it possible to use a vibro knife as a thrown weapon? And if so, what would the range be? Obviously, my idea would be to throw it at the droid.
Yeah, throw it at the surveillance droid. I would say, yeah, you should be able to use it as a weapon. However, what I would say is that it would be close range, and right now, although you are 40 feet above it, you
above it
because I'm up on the wall.
Ground. Oh, you.
Yeah, I'm above it.
He's above it, and he can even throw it, but even then, it's a very awkward angle. So you can try and throw it, but it wouldn't. It might not do it. It might. I mean, it's something you kind of end up having to try for the best.
Okay, how far could I jump?
If
using my augmenting with my, well, I don't know if that gives me. I know it adds to my athletics, but I don't know if it gives me any kind of super jump or not.
I believe super jump is later on. Like it's another force power you can get after that.
Force leap, yeah, I could get it, but I don't have the points for it. So no, yeah, just.
Okay. You could leap off and fall onto it, maybe even stab it.
That's what, yeah, I was thinking a dramatic, kind of like, what was that, Rain of Fire with the dragon and the axe, but basically with my dagger, leap at it and come down on it with a knife to try to take it out real quick.
Sure. But keep in mind, it is hovering just above the ground. You fall 40 feet, you're going to get hurt. And you're going to get hurt.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing, though, I just wanted to say there before you said stuff there. Mercer, can you make me a knowledge warfare check?
Sure.
Make it a difficulty of 3.
Ouch. Okay. That's a single success.
Okay. So you would know that surveillance droids, as soon as they see you, they're already transmitting to a post. So regardless of whether or not this thing has to go back, it doesn't matter because it's a live, think of it like a Wi-Fi camera, wireless feed. So you're already seen.
Yeah.
Now, whatever is stomping towards you around the corner has not seen you yet. And it is ready for you. You still have a few moments to run up, run over, leap over, and GTFO before things might hit the fan.
All right, so that makes it simple. All right, so we have basically a handheld on the wall. This is what do you want? A coordination or the athletics on it to get up?
So for this, you'll have to leap up. Basically, kind of grab this handhold and give yourself like a pull-up. So I'll make this an athletics check, and
boost,
and give yourself a boost because Varick's also going to try and give you a hand up the side of the wall.
Okay, And the difficulty for that?
So the difficulty that would be 3 as well.
All right, here we go for the jumping up over. Nope, I don't make it. I have 3 successes. All right, so 3 advantage. I meant.
I was going to say, wait, you didn't pass with 3 successes?
No.
How does that work?
No, I meant 3 advantage.
So here's what I'm thinking, if you don't mind. You're about to grab it. You're about to leap up, grab it, but you slip off. But you manage to have a hand hold onto it. So you haven't fallen right to the ground yet. But you're holding on. You're close enough that if you just make one more athletics check, you should be able, like Varick, and that if Varick helps you, you should be able to just grab a hold and lift up.
Okay, so we're just doing another try on it.
So you'll do another try, but it's going to be a difficulty of 2 because you're already halfway up the wall, and Varick's right there, ready to pick you up.
Okay. Wow. Complete opposite.
Yeah, all the things.
So I have 2 successes, a triumph, and an advantage. Okay, so I guess we're up and over, and with that, the triumph will be this. Our friend who came up, who dropped us off, kind of was coming out of the alley because he realized we weren't there on time, and was going to head back. And he actually sees us, and when I get over, I make Varick and I both lose our balance, and we're falling over, but he's there to catch us with the skiff.
And he just arrives in time as the 2 of you just boom, and the skiff just kind of just like grunts down a bit and he just like speeds off like, what just happened? And he looks back, and the 2 of you are just kind of like crumpled in a heap, and you 2 sure know how to make an entrance, and he just like guns it right out of there.
Do not head back right away. Do not go quickly. We have to get out of here, and then I'll try to kind of put a tarp, whatever is there, just to cover us a little bit. Do not go back the same way. And then I'll make communications to our other 2 that are waiting some kind of access of the plan.
Also, as we land in there and begin to take off, I kind of look down at myself and turn to Mercer and say, Mercer, I think I'm in need of some new ropes.
We're in need of a lot of things. I hear ya. Well, right now we have to figure out where the Bacta is. We only know where these destructions is, and we know, and it was basically an AT-AT, right? The big walker.
Did we ever get visuals of it? I mean, there's obvious from the sound. There's some kind of large.
Is it a 2?
You don't know.
So it was small then.
You heard.
We wouldn't have seen it then.
You heard something. You heard it. The warehouses are about 50 feet high. So the warehouse is just basically the tops of the warehouse just peek over the walls. You heard something coming towards you. It wasn't moving at a slow pace. Wasn't moving at a fast pace. It was just more of like a medium pace.
Something else about
what it is, you're not 100% sure.
I will also reach into my pack and hand over that detonator to Mercer and say, if you can get this working, we might be in need of this sometime soon.
I knew I was forgetting something, and I'll try to look at it first, but I'm going to make communications first because I know these other 2 are trying to figure out. Kojimal, Salin, come in. Can you hear us?
We're here, Mercer.
Go ahead.
What did you find?
I don't know where the Bacta is, but they have something pretty big in the compound. Not quite sure what it is. Also, surveillance has myself and Varick on knowing exactly where we went, where we came from. So they're expecting us, and they have a nice little questioning on why we would be here. So expect trouble. Head back to the rendezvous. At this point, I'm not sure what we're going to do. Has the clause agreed to our terms?
Yes, they provided everything we asked for. Just to confirm, John, out of game for a sec, do we have the EMP that they were supposed to deliver to us?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so they've provided everything that we need.
All right, well, things aren't looking very good on this end, and we haven't found any information. We had our chance, and I blew it. Yeah, I blew it. And barely getting out of here with Varick's life almost barely intact. Any ideas what I should do?
Just find a secure location, lay low, and we'll rendezvous with you as soon as we can.
All right, then I'm not heading back to the base. I have to keep them secure. And I'll look at the driver, and I'll be like, you know of anywhere we can go that's opposite of the base? We need to head there now.
I mean, we could go out of the gates are the other side, if you want to do it that way. Or,
right.
Yeah, we could maybe, I don't know, head back to the base or something. Or
if we leave the city, we'll have to pass through the checkpoint. Yes.
Yeah.
That
Wait a
may-
minute. Wait a minute. Let's go to Morbo's.
All right, make it done. Do you have any more med packs on you, or in the somewhere?
Hang on, I think there's a first aid kit somewhere on here. He kind of reaches down. He just grabs like a little box and just kind of like tosses it back underneath the tarp at you guys.
Okay.
Give that a shot. See what you got. Inside right. You find one more stim pack. You find a bit of gauze, some antiseptic. Other than that, it's not very much, just because it's not really something that people need to use in order to, not in a combat situation.
Alrighty, then I'll go ahead and start accumulating the first aid while we're back there. And I'm sure it's more. Not to give it away, Varick, but is your hit points on page 113 of the Edge of the Empire? I'm not sure what book you have. Look at the healing, if it's an average or hard for the difficulty.
Well, with that first stim pack, that gave me 5. That took me up to 7 of 13.
So, okay, so that would be 2. Equal to or half, or
so I get 2 more additional.
You'll get 2 additional hit points and 2 strain.
Nice.
And that's just from the first aid itself.
Salin, do you want to stay here with the X-Wings while I rendezvous with the others?
After a few, presumably is this coming through on the comms, or are you sort of talking to me?
Yeah, I'll ask you, even though we're together, just to involve them. I'll ask it through the comms.
Okay, you don't get any reply on the comms, and if you can actually see Salin, you notice he's sort of staring ahead of himself. He's got a strange sort of unfocused look to his gaze, as though he's sort of staring off into space.
Kojimal's going to wave his hand like this in front of your face. Salin! And I'll turn off the comm for a second. And I'll just kind of like shake his shoulder a little bit.
The light of the jungle, the green of the jungle, just seems to melt away for you, Salin. The feeling you have that you first experienced on your way down to the planet, and then the nightmare you had, seemed to be a little bit, both feeling kind of the same, but this time it seems more. It's like when you try and strain your eyes to see something, and it almost seems to push back or push past what you can normally see. Suddenly, your vision just seems to go black, and you're standing on a landing pad. But you're standing on a landing pad thousands upon thousands of feet in the air. Looking around, you see other landing pads and other towers. These look like massive spires that are reaching up almost to the ionosphere of a planet. A voice in your head. Now you're gonna choose, Squiddy. You gonna save the girl, or you gonna save a planet? And looking down, you see what looks to be a young girl hanging on, her fingers digging into the steel of the landing pad. She looks up at you, but it's a featureless face. And not only is it a featureless face, but you actually see like lines of data and code, like going past what would be just her normal visage.
I imagine where sort of Kojimal's looking at me, you see sort of like, because you've probably got a bit used to like my various facial expressions. You see his eyes sort of widen with like a look of almost sort of like fear and confusion, and where his hands are sort of like on the control, you see one of his hands like twitching, and as though he's reaching out for something that's not really there. He's just sort of like reaching one of his hands out sort of shakily.
And to your left, you see a data pad, and the data pad almost has a light fixated on it. Will you save the planet? Will you save the girl? Make your choice, Squiddy. Because once you do, you can never go back.
I look at the girl for a moment, and then sort of in the real world, Kojimal just hears me in a very sort of soft and quiet voice, quite unlike my normal blustering tone. Just very softly, he just says, I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do. And in the vision, I reach out for the data pad.
And suddenly you get a sense of falling as you've actually been replaced with this young girl. Your hands slip, and you just see the data pad. You actually see yourself standing with a look of utter dismay as you fall faster and faster past other ships and planetary vehicles zipping by. You see now, you look, and it's nothing but a cityscape, a huge cityscape of towers that are probably 5 to 8 to 10,000 floors high, massive, massive, thick spires. As you fall faster and faster, the nothing below you except almost a blackened void. And suddenly you feel a shake as Kojimal gently shakes you, but you feel yourself snapped out of this sensation.
Salin, what do you mean there's nothing you can do? Do about what?
But I don't know how to explain it. I saw the base, and a young child, a female, I think, hanging onto the edge of the roof, and a voice that spoke to me. I don't really know how to explain.
Well, it truly is a blessing that the gods have granted you these visions, but it concerns me that they overwhelm you so much. What happens if we're in combat when these visions strike you? I worry for your safety, my friend. They're coming more frequently.
As do I, Kojimal, and you are right. They are becoming more frequent and more vivid and more disturbing. But what can I do? I can't exactly book myself into a psychiatric facility, can I? We don't have time for that sort of thing.
Maybe later. I can help you with that.
Thank you. We need to see this mission through, and then the mission comes first. I'll worry about myself after this mission's completed. And I'm going to try and think. Yeah. Maybe if we get through this. And then, Mike, I'm going to try and think back to the sort of vision I saw. Was out of the sort of surroundings that I saw, was there anything that sort of corresponded to the base that might be of any sort of use to us?
From what you have gathered from looking around, this planet that you've seen isn't Thyferra. You are on another world entirely, as your force powers are not exactly in tune with themselves. You be seeing pockets of the future that, or at least events that have yet to be, and have gone further than what you've noticed. You've never been to this planet that you've even seen. You don't even know what planet it is. The overall scope, though, your frame of mind, that when you were standing there looking at this girl hanging on the precipice, you feel that you have been succeeding up to this point, but for the first time you truly feel doubt when you were standing on that precipice.
Almost sort of under his breath, as though he's talking to himself, Kojimal hears Salin say, the voice asked me to choose between saving the girl and saving the planet, and I made the only choice I could. And then he takes his hands off the sort of controls, and as he does, you can see like he's been gripping the controls tightly. There's like sort of fingernail marks in the controls where he's sort of been gripping them tightly during this vision. And his orange skin sort of like goes a little bit pale. A few like beads of sweat on his forehead.
Girl, what girl? I don't know who this girl is you're talking about, but you gotta pull yourself together. Our friends are hurt, or at least Varick's hurt, and we need to.
You're right, Kojimal. You're right.
So, do you want to stay here with the X-wings, and I'll try to help them out, rendezvous with them, or do you want to come with me?
I'm gonna. Well, we've already had the enzymes applied to these X-wings. I don't know how long that stuff lasts, but it's not going to last forever. It's going to lose its potency as it becomes older. We don't have a great deal of time.
Mike, how close are we to nightfall? Sorry,
that's okay. You would say probably at this point, given the time and everything that's happened, it's probably about mid afternoon. So
okay.
So given a time frame, you've got a few hours. Okay. And from what the Black Claw saboteurs, the way this Bacta works, it seems like these enzymes are very, very potent. So they will last to the night, and it'll drop off significantly by the next day. It'll by that point it'll pretty much be like a lot lower.
Okay, I'm gonna get on the comms and I'll be like, Mercer, Varick, this is Salin. Do you copy? Are you receiving, Mercer?
Salin, yes. What is your situation?
The X-wings are currently prepped and ready to go. I'm sending Kojimal to rendezvous with yourself and Varick. We await your signal.
We're not leaving town. We're actually going to Morbos. How is he going to get here?
I presume he'll take a Black Claw skiff.
I'll hitch a ride with the Black Claws.
All right. Well, tell them if they're going to get ready to stay out of visual. They are aware of us, or at least us two. You guys are still safe, I believe.
Would you rather I stay out here and stay in this location until nightfall and then rendezvous for the strike? Just in case your location is compromised?
No, because we're still going to need you. If you're going to cause havoc, I have the perfect building for you. I'll give you the information once you get here. But far as of right now, yeah, make your way to us. Salin, do what you have to do. Do your timing with the time of our strike. We'll let you know more information once Kojimal reaches us.
Roger, Mercer will await your signal. Over and out.
Roger that. And at this point, Kojimal would start preparing to go. And if he has the EMP, I imagine it's a device that's in some kind of pack, and he'd sling that pack on, and he would, just once more, he would talk to the Black Claws and make sure that they know, remind them of the mission to cause the distraction nearby the warehouse, but not in the warehouse, and just go over the plan one more time with them, and then prepare to leave.
Okay.
As you head off, I'll just say to you, Kojimal, I'll be like, Kojimal, when you get there, be careful. I hope to be in many more skiffs in the future that you blow up. Don't go getting yourself killed needlessly.
Well, it's no fun blowing up a skiff if I'm the only one in it. And you too as well. I'm getting kind of used to that thing you call a face, so I don't want to see it go anywhere just yet. So be careful. From your previous vision, something might happen when you're up there tonight. So watch your six and good hunting. And I'll just clasp him on the shoulder. And then I'll sling the pack with the EMP and take the skiff back to town.
So as you put the pack with the EMP on, and the EMP is not very big. It's about the size of the core rulebook. There we go. It's about the size of the core rulebook. Maybe about double thick. About yay thick, and it's basically just a small satchel. You flip a couple of switches and you basically just place it down, and then suddenly in a radius that doesn't harm flesh, but anything electronic just goes down.
Yep.
So basically, like placing it up against a wall, like you don't have to worry about like the wall being damaged or anything else, or drawing attention to yourself. It's just it goes off, and then everything, droid or cameras or certain whatever things just die.
Yep.
So pretty basic. And as you walk over to Ziktar, Ziktar motions for you to come, and you see kind of what looks to be like a large bush, and two of the Black Claws kind of grab an end of the bush, lifting it up. You actually see that there are actually steel doors, extremely well camouflaged. Opening up, you see a small hover skiff, kind of like sitting in this tunnel going down. Ziktar looks at you.
Friend, Kojimal, you get in skiff. We have deal with friend Morbo. She have warehouse. This go to warehouse. You go there. Then we will walk you to warehouse. Then we attack, blow up many big booms. Then you can be good to your god, and then we can kill more empire.
Thank you, friend Ziktar. This is definitely much appreciated, and the time of glory is quickly approaching. We will make many fine booms, as you say, and he can see like the excitement in Kojimal's eyes, undisguised eagerness.
And actually, Ziktar exhibits the same thing, except in pheromones. You just get like that kind of blast of like, yep, he's good to go. He's ready for this. So.
And, we share the pheromones. Kojimal releases his pheromones too, and the pheromones, since they're non-verbal, it's kind of like senses or like creating like images or memories. And one of the things that they share is that suddenly they can smell the gun smoke, the explosion after, and the fading sound of the explosion echoing like thunder in the distance. And that's kind of what they share through the pheromones. And they kind of just smile. Kojimal smiles, nods in understanding.
Right on. So as you kind of climb down the kind of like makeshift steps, you step onto the skiff. It's fairly large. It's I mean, it's enough for like almost 20 individuals to kind of pile on. You see 15 Black Claw saboteurs. Each one of them, they're checking their blaster carbines, and some of them have like 2 blaster pistols. Some have like blaster rifles, but most of them have. You see packs of thermal detonators, packs of grenades. These guys are extremely explosive, and they are ready to go. The one in the skiff, like you see one of them kind of chitters to the other, and the one nods its head and kind of like gets the skiff going, and you just take off, going through the darkness, like small like lights, emergency lighting here and there, just barely to kind of get the light, but just the speed at which it's going, you're definitely going to be there relatively soon. Well, relatively speaking.
First thing Kojimal does is he checks under the seats for any loose thermal detonators that might be rolling around.
Nope, not this time.
Okay, that's
not
good.
This time.
He's relieved.
No, everything they have on them. So as you go, we now turn to Salin. Salin, as you're left there pondering what fate, what everything has in store, or what everything meant. You were kind of tapped on the shoulder a bit brusquely by a Soge. Hey, boss, you all right? You ready to escort some eagles to their final resting place?
Yes, as soon as we get the signal from Mercer, we'll go. We're just waiting for everyone else to get in place, Asogi.
All right. Kavmerick, let's do some final checks. And then Kavmerick just nods his head quietly and stoically, as usual, as it is for Derosian culture, and kind of like just walks to his X-wing and begins to do some final flight checks, making sure everything is good to go. The Nautilin very casually, Asoge just casually kind of meandering to his X-wing, patting the hull, kind of checking out the laser cannons, making sure they look good, and just kind of ready to go.
I'll be doing likewise and doing checks to make sure everything's sort of ship shape. Remind me, Mike, do these X-wings have astromechs in them, or?
They do. They do. Each one of them carries an R2 unit, cool. and they're just kind of sitting there going through their own pre-flight checks. Yours doesn't seem very talkative. It doesn't really say much of anything. It just kind of sits there and does its own thing, and well, nothing against you.
Does its job. That's what I'm bothered about.
It just doesn't really know or care about you. It's just like,
fine.
Whatever. You're the pilot. I'm the astromech. Don't give a shit.
Long as it assists me with flying the X-wing, that is absolutely fine.
Pretty much, yeah. You hear the other two R2 units. Well, the one for Kavmerick again is just as silent as he is. It is very quietly and every so often chirping and that the R2 unit that Asoge has is just going ham, just just going off and just kind of doing its thing, and Asoge is just laughing along with it, and that's a good one. Ever tell you about the time I shot 2 astromech droids? And then it's like, it's just kind of a funny little conversation. And yeah, that's pretty much where you're at right now. While you're checking everything, you're checking the externals. Your R2 is checking the internals, and you're just waiting on Mercer.
Yep.
So, as you and Varick, Mercer, you head to, you see the sign for Morbo's once again, a very nice, very attractive-looking building. He stops in. The driver stops in front. All right, get out.
Isn't there a back entrance or anything?
Just get out.
All right. And
Thank you.
get out. Actually, I'll try to do it so it's more so not a lot of people inside could see because, well, it's an establishment of fine drink and dining, I guess, and I'd have to go the back way.
Okay. So the two of you kind of get out the front. You do see kind of a narrow walkway. It seems like a kind of a little side alleyway that leads around kind of the back of Morbo's. As you step out of the vehicle, the Twi'lek that was in front that had seen you the first time kind of sees the two of you get out, and she kind of like walks away and walks into the bar. Why, you do not know. As you begin to head to the side, you notice that the back door to presumably the kitchen and the offices and things like that, you see that the back door is open ajar.
All right, I'll take a quick peek in, and if nobody's actually right in the first visual, then I'll go ahead and head in, and then kind of secure just with visual, not with guns out or anything, just so that Varick can get in.
Okay. And Varick, I assume you follow as well.
Yeah, when we approach the door, I just kind of glance towards the way we came in to see if we're being followed, then I'll slip inside after Mercer.
Okay.
Closing the door.
So, door shuts. You actually see Morbo standing there. But Morbo is standing there with someone else. And she looks at you, and she's looking very pensive and just a little bit upset. She kind of says, "I don't have much time to talk, but just come to my office and, well, just please come." And she kind of she turns around and she rushes down this hallway. So as the door opens, you look in. You kind of see a doorway that's kind of covered with this like beautiful, like kind of a crimson silk kind of curtain that covers up. You assume that would head right to the bar as your standard bar noise is coming from there. But then straight off to your right, you do see a hallway that leads to a couple of actual doors, like kind of light electronic doors. And she begins to head with this other individual towards the door at the end of the hall.
Okay.
Do you follow?
Oh, of course. That's how we know there was a hallway right there too.
As you head down, open up the door. You look in, and she says, "Close the door quickly, please, please." Assume the door slams behind you. You just kind of shut that pretty quick. All right, listen. This is very important. This person is the subject of our tide change. Who is this individual? This person is extremely important. So I would suggest that the four of you, which I'm very proud to say, whatever your tide change is, whoever this individual is, it is very important. So we'll start from our left, and I have to see, just to let all you folks know, I'm not one of those people that can like listen to someone talk and then type at like 100 and something words per minute. I use pencil, and then I do the 2-finger typing. So after we do our tide change, and just to let you know, folks at home, a tide change is when the players come up with an avenue to change the storyline, and people like you, the viewers, and the players themselves vote on the change that happens, ergo the tide change. So there you go. Anyway, Varick, we'll start with you. Who is this individual?
I'm going to say he is someone that is someone of rank at the warehouse who is in charge of personnel and assigning, which jobs go to which guards.
Okay.
Someone that could smuggle us in to the facility under the guise of supposing to be there.
Cool. Okay, so the ranking officer in Warehouse 183B does. Okay, cool. Next up, Kojimal. Who is this extremely important person?
I like the idea of the warehouse, but I'd like to make him less friendly and say that he's the Major Durant guy that they were talking to through the surveillance droid, and see what happens there.
Wow, you really don't like playing here, do you? It's like, you know, I don't even like playing. Make him Boba Fett. Make him Boba Fett.
No, I mean anything can happen, right? But
that's very true.
Who knows? Maybe he just he can put two and two together. Maybe he's always known what the rebels have been doing, and they're not as secret as they think they are, and he's getting an idea of what's going on, and he wants to come by for a chat before things escalate.
Fair enough.
I don't know. That's up to you what he wants to talk about. But
that's cool.
That's who he is.
I got the old hamster starting to make its cycle around the wheel there.
Yeah.
All right, and Salin. No, I'm just kidding. Mercer. Who is this very important person?
Oh, you could have gone Salin first.
No, I just want to see what you.
I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with the lines with Kojimal is, but I'm gonna go on the other spectrum. He is actually Morba's agent, and has basically infiltrated. And 3 days ago, the Bacta was actually transferred off-site, and none of the Bacta is actually there. And he has information on where it was headed or could be.
Okay. I like that. It's kind of cool. All right. Now, Salin. Who's this important person?
Okay, going along the sort of similar line of it being someone who's sort of like undercover in the base, I'm going to say it's actually a deep cover rebel operative who is force sensitive, who has been sort of undercover in the facility for quite some time. However, given all the recent sort of force shenanigans and visions that have been going on with Salin, he's actually sort of sensed that disturbance, which has sort of drawn him out of his cover, and he's sort of gone to Morbo to try and find out what's going on and getting a bit more information. And Morbo said, oh, well, the only change recently is us arriving.
Okay. Alrighty. Cool. So, again, folks at home, so this is the part where I will post the poll up in the Tides of Change Facebook club, and that's where people vote. Now, if you're watching this not live, then don't worry about it. Just skip ahead like about 10, 15 minutes or so, and you'll be fine. And we'll find out who this important person is in Morbo's office that both Mercer and Varick need to meet, which could be a very well big game changer for the members of Havoc Squad in Heart of the Empire. So we're going to take a 15-minute break while we sort out the polls and all the individuals involved. So we will see you in a little while. Okay. Well, I figured since. By the way, if you can't tell, I think I need a new headset. Since we're still waiting, probably for just another 3 more minutes. Again, I would just like to take this opportunity to ask you, please go ahead and check out the Star Wars Tides of Change role-playing game club on Facebook. Fantastic club. They do a great job with being totally inclusive to people that join up, especially people that are interested in Fantasy Flight Games, Star Wars. They're really great. You have questions, anything. It's definitely a fantastic club to sign up and have a look at. I can't. Words are hard, apparently. I can't recommend these guys enough. I really can't. And also to the people who have channels, I believe I believe it's both Devin and John. Please, if you're not subscribed to their channels, well, I mean, you should be. Like don't be ridiculous. Honestly, subscribe to these guys. Subscribe to these guys before you even subscribe to me. For Pete's sakes, go, do the thing. You've only got about 2.5 minutes left before we start this up again. So give it a shot. Open a new window and give her, because they're great guys. They're running great games. Devin and his good friend Ryan from What the Dice. They're right now they're running this really awesome Star Wars campaign unto themselves. It's really great. Go check it out. And John is running. Not only does he run beautiful Star Wars trilogies from Fantasy Flight Games, but right now he's also running a really awesome D&D camp, or either mini campaign or full campaign. Is it a mini campaign?
It's a full campaign.
Thank you. Apologies. He's running a full campaign called Three Brothers. Very nicely done. I mean, so nicely done. The players are amazing. He's amazing because he's an awesome DM. Also, if you ever wanted to try out the game Fate, and you're a little confused as to how to do it, check. He has a ton of videos on how to play Fate. Matter of fact, you watch those videos, you will know how to play Fate better than if you bought the book in the first place. All right, trust me on that one. Playing Fate, I've tried it a couple times. It's a very different system, very cool, and I would not have learned or known what the hell to do if I hadn't watched his videos. So definitely, please go check him out. So anyway, it seems like everyone's back. Checking out the polls, it seems that Salin is our big winner. So, memory serves me correctly. So that being said, without further ado, I'm going to take a sip of beer. Talk amongst yourselves for a moment. Oh yeah, that's good stuff. And let's get right back to Heart of the Empire. This gentleman, his name is Chance Surian. He is a very deep cover agent working for the rebellion. And as you turn around and look, you kind of see he seems to be dressed as an engineer, and he's kind of giving you guys kind of the look, like just he looks you up and down. You can tell he's not impressed. He's just not impressed. Period. Like he just seems like the kind of guy that's just like he's done a lot. He's seen some stuff, and he just kind of he stands there with his arms folded. So, you're what they pass for Imperial or Rebellion operatives these days, or what?
Sanctionally, no. We are not operatives of any sort. We are actually, you could say, running missions for different people throughout whoever can get their hands on us.
Oh, yeah. All right, well, Look, it's like this. Right now, you guys kicked the damn hornet's nest. I mean, hey, good job on that, by the way. You've got Major Durant running around like some sort of a chicken with his head cut off. He's so mad. Let me tell you something. There's one thing that guy doesn't like. It's when you turn around and say, I'm just going to take your ego and kick it right in the sternum, and then I'm going to take a blaster rifle, shove it straight up his ass, and pull the trigger. So nice job on that. He's fuming.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So look, there's something else I needed to ask you guys about. You got anyone who's been, I don't know, acting a little bit weird lately?
Everybody I come across is acting weird.
Yeah. That's all fine and dandy. I know everyone's strange. It's a unique galaxy. It's a beautiful galaxy. Yada yada yada. I've read the propaganda. Look, anyone who's been acting out of the ordinary, you guys just got here. I've heard it enough from Morbo. Morbo nods her head. So tell me, like, where are you guys? Just any one of you guys acting a little weird?
And I'll look at Varick and I'll be like, not sure what you mean by weird. Like you said, we just got here, so we don't know how they were before. I just know we ran into a guard that acted kind of weird, very suspicious of anything we said earlier. I'm not sure what you're meaning.
Oh man, it's like prying teeth with you. You know what? I'll tell you what. You seem like the kind of guy who really likes to bust in doors and shoot up the joint. Am I right?
Hey, I'm trying to learn to not have to do that. It's different from my normal training.
I can tell. I can tell. As a matter of fact,
Varick doesn't respond when Mercer says that, but he kind of looks down at himself and rubs at his robe, thinking of recent events.
And Chance kind of stops for a moment and kind of turns to you, Varick. You, though. You ever did something that just kind of doesn't seem like it's supposed to be physically possible? You ever do something that maybe you think that, hey, you know, like I know I can do that being, you know, the race that I am, but all of a sudden, boom, I can do things that just seem out of place?
I don't respond right away. I kind of camp my head as I study him. First, thinking back to that first moment that something like that occurred when I was with Salin at preparing to cause some havoc with an explosion, and the quickness of which I ran back and forth, and then more recent events. I consider how wise it is to answer his question, but obviously he knows something, and perhaps I can gain some information from him regarding it, as I'll give a slight nod and assent.
If you're trying to tell us, because he's doing this what I was thinking, if you're trying to tell us that one of my members did something that was against code, then you should be talking to me. Don't be talking to them. I'm the one who's not really in charge of them, but I will take the front of any discipline action that needs to be done. I'm not quite sure what you're talking about, and I'll kind of show a little frustration.
Okay, whoa. Look, no one's in any trouble here, okay?
Then why the interrogation?
Fine. All right, I'll tell you what. Somebody in your group has powers, abilities beyond whatever race that they are. That's what I'm saying. All right? Back in the day, we called it the Force. I'm sure you've heard of this.
Yeah, it's an every greeting or leaving that we say. I'm not quite sure what that is, but I hear it.
Look, what I'm saying is I have some of these abilities. That being said, there's a very good chance that you, him, any other member of your party has this sort of power. If that's the case, then I would like to talk to them and possibly point them in the right direction, because this power that I'm getting, we can sense each other, and I can sense that there are one, maybe two individuals that have this ability. One of them, so far, seems to kind of have it under control a bit, but the other one doesn't. And the problem with something like that, when you have a lot of power and you're trying to keep it into a self-contained system and trying to keep it kind of sorted out in your, your pink gray matter there, eventually it's going to come out. And this could be very bad for the person who it's doing it to. After all, it's
Chase Syrian, is it?
chance.
Your timing cannot be any worse. We're in the middle of a mission here. I came to her because we are trying to figure out where something is so we can get out and be off your planet so you can go about your daily business. Now, if one of us has this force that you're talking about, I'm just letting you know we are in the middle of important information now. If you know where this Bacta is, then you and I have something to talk about. But if you don't know, I need to talk to Morbo about what's going on. And if you want to stay here to listen to this, that's fine. But right now, I have my operatives out in the wilderness. I can't just put you on a comm so you can talk to them to say if they're feeling any type of powers that this force is giving them. I'm not trying to be rude about it, but we are in the middle of an operation.
Perhaps.
Yeah, you're definitely not the brains of the operation, are you? And that's really great, because if you were the brains of the operation, you would notice that I am dressed like an engineer of a warehouse district, and he grabs, like, where a name tag would be. Warehouse District 183 Bravo.
Now you and I have something to talk about. That's what I came here to talk about.
That's great and all, but the fact that you couldn't see the 183 Bravo name tag right here, as a matter of fact, are you a crack shot? Because I really doubt it. Because if you couldn't see that right on my chest, please, there is something wrong with you. But anyway, that's besides the point. You want to know where the Bacta is? Fine. The Bacta are in, now there's two of them. The Bacta is in warehouses 18320 Alpha and 1820 Bravo. There you go.
1820 Alpha and Bravo. And
Yeah.
I'll actually move it so that I'm talking to someone that's not in the room. And I'll actually reply exactly that.
Now, Alpha contains Bacta that looks like it's right for the Empire. Bravo, on the other hand, I don't know where it's for. I don't know who it's for. But that's none of my business.
And then I'll look at them and say 20B. That is our destination. I know what that's for. And that is our target.
Great. Now, answer my question, okay? Because I got a feeling that he has it. He points at you, Varick. There's someone else. He has his under control. Let me tell you something. If you're in the middle of a firefight, like you seem to profess that, the group of you seem to be in a lot of heavy shit, and that's fine. I'm fine with that. But if you're in some heavy shit, and all of a sudden his force powers start going wonky, what are you going to do? You're going to have a sitting target right there when you need someone to have your back, okay? Now I'm speaking your lingo, because apparently I have to dumb down my speech for you a bit, and that's fine. It's not your fault. I get it. You're a soldier. But just listen to me. This is important. Because as soon as I get an idea that other people have the power of the Force, others will get that idea too. Others who may be more sympathetic to the Empire, and in turn more sympathetic to Darth Vader. And he does have force powers, and you know that, and I know that. And if he gets a wind of it, You don't want him hunting you, because then it's the end. I've heard stories.
As far as I know, he's under some ice back in where we came from.
Look, Vader's not just some guy in a metal tin can suit, you know. Vader's not even just some guy. Lord Vader, Darth Vader, is a force to be reckoned with. I've seen that guy, operations on planets, full-in bunkers, things that stormtroopers are just throwing their lives away, bouncing off of. Vader comes down and just rips the thing apart, lifts the entire bunker straight out of the ground, crushes it and kills everyone. I don't fear you. You're a man with a blaster. You shoot me, I'm dead, and that's it. It's over. I don't even care. But Vader scares the hell out of me, and he should scare the hell out of you. And don't ever forget it. Because let me tell you something, at the end of the day, no matter how good of an aim you are, no matter how powerful of a blaster you got at your side, that guy, he's a force to be reckoned with. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Let's say I do have someone on my team that's having delusions, and not delusions of grandeur.
I can tell that's your job.
Would he be taken as into court-martialed, or what's going to happen to him? Is he supposed to be...
No. Just look. He's not going to be taken away, okay? Look, I get it. You're trying to protect your buddy, and that's good. That's commendable, okay? No. What I'm saying is, if that's the case, here, I'll tell you what. He reaches in and he pulls out a data pad. And it's a very small data pad. It seems like it's only got like maybe just a couple of kilobytes of information on it. Take him to the Raltia system. There's a beggar in Raltia. He kind of hangs out near the rebel base there. Take him there, and there's a good chance you might be able to work with him, get his focus. So you just take that, do what you do with it, and go. Now listen, back to your operation, because clearly your single mind is focused clearly on that. This is what I did for you. I sliced into the computers. I set the doors to automatically open. If you're going to head into these warehouses to do whatever, take the Bacta and work your magic, it's ready for you. The other thing, I messed up the targeting sensors on the two laser cannons. So they may not be able to shoot very straight, which is fine, because, I mean, after all, it's the Empire. We'll see what we can do about that, but that's all I can do. I've been saying that there's been a problem integrating these laser cannons into the warehouse district, and so far they've bought it. Just make damn sure that, that this attack goes for naught. After that, I'm out of here. You'll never see me again. But you take care of your two guys. Those two guys with powers, you take care of them. Or else the Empire is going to hunt them down and hunt you down. And he kind of puts his hand on your shoulder. Yeah, they'll hunt you down more so than the fact that you got the whole database of the rebellion sitting on your ship. And then he just kind of walks past you, looks at you, Varick. You take care of yourself, huh? And he walks out of Morbo's office.
Chance.
And yeah.
And I'll look at him for a split second. May the Force be with you.
And also with you. It's already with me, and I can't seem to get rid of it. But hey, it is what it is. You take care now. And he walks out.
I glance to Mercer and say, I need a moment, and then I will follow after him, after Chance,
Okay.
and stop him in the hall. These things that you have seen the one called Vader do, are these things that others can learn?
Look, I've heard from people who can use the Force, and they're good people. They have powers. They have abilities, and they're very strong with these abilities. You seem like you could be pretty strong with these abilities too. But I'll tell you right now, man. Look, Vader's a bad person. And the powers that he's learned are because he's a bad person. So you want to go ahead and follow that path, let me tell you something. It ain't going to bode well for you in the rebellion. But you can learn abilities. Follow this guy. Maybe he can help you out. Maybe he can teach you a few things about controlling your powers and maybe even using them for a benefit. Hey man, it's all about learning. It's all about doing good for the rebellion. We got to show these damn Imperials. We got to take them out. Let's do what we can, and let's do our part by being the best individuals we can. Because it takes each one cog. It takes a cogs to make a machine, and that machine's a rebellion. So let's keep that machine running. Anyway, I gotta head back before they start questioning where the hell I went. You keep doing good by yourself, huh?
I give him a nod, and I'll watch him go, and I'll stand in the hall a moment, then head back into the office.
Okay.
Yes, it is affirmative. The warehouse we're looking for is 18320B. It is all on the far east side. We shouldn't have to see the middle of the warehousing district. You got that, Kojimal?
Roger that. I'm already
Salin?
en route.
Salin?
Received and understood.
All right, excellent. As soon as Varick gets back in here, I'll let him know that you have the targets and destination where we're going to be heading. Kojimal, once more, how far are you out?
I'm nearly there. We're moving at a good pace.
Excellent. I'll have the back door open for you. Do not enter the front door.
Do you
Repeat,
want me
do
to come
not
to
enter
Morbos or meet you near the objective?
the back door of Morbos. It'll be open, ready for you.
Affirmative, on my way.
When you need us, Mercer, say the word and we'll light that place up like a Dak Harvest Festival.
Do you have an estimation of how long it'll take you to gather our other troops and fly in?
We're literally primed to go now. Mike, do I have any idea roughly how long it's going to take us to fly to where these birds are and then get back, assuming optimal conditions?
Yep. So, judging by what you've seen on topographical maps in the area and what Ziktar has kind of like pointed out, you figure it'll roughly take you about 10-15 minutes to fly at a very good pace. So, like, let's say, you know, and I hate to use the mechanics wise, but if you lift off and you carry basically due northwest at a speed of let's say about 4 or 5, so at a good, like almost like as fast as you possibly can, you can probably make it there in about 10-15 minutes. Probably more on the side of 10 minutes.
Okay. Estimate approximately 15 minutes, Mercer, for us to gather the forces and get back to the base.
Excellent. That'll help me with when we're going to start the strike. I'll let you know more as soon, like I said, once we get more information.
Understood.
And then I'll look at Morbo and it says, well, that was easier than we were expecting because we fell into some sorts, as he was mentioned prior. But now that we know exactly what we're looking for, A is what we want to take if we can for ourselves, but B is what is the importance of the materials we seek.
All right, then. So, Kojimal, you have, it's been probably about 45 minutes. You arrive kind of in an, like you kind of stop, you begin to slow down, like the kind of like the hover skiff slows down, and you see the Black Claws kind of like kind of skitter out and open up these like steel doors, and as you climb out, you kind of see this large warehouse, which seems to be like rather large, but like almost empty. There's a few crates here and there, but other than that, it is empty. The Black Claws kind of, they already seem like they know what to do, so they run kind of like skitter into like kind of one spot together, sit down, they begin cleaning their weapons. One comes up to you.
Friend, Kojimal, we clean, wet, few. You tell us. Go.
You could definitely tell that this individual probably, unfortunately, speaks the best basic out of the group of them, as Zikdar seems to probably do most of the talking in kind of like their own hierarchy. He goes. This one goes, and you can tell this one is a little bit different. It seems to be kind of also in some kind of charge, maybe not like second in command, but high up. The others kind of seem to like show some respect to him. He, again, entirely black, as is the Black Claws, but for him, he has over kind of like over his shoulder, he has 3 white stripes over his shoulder, indicating some kind of a rank that you're not really certain. You're not really certain how it works, but you seem like he's kind of a dude that knows what he's doing. He also has his left mandible actually is kind of broken a bit. Definitely tell he's been in the shit, as it were. So he goes off and he's cleaning weapons. You can definitely tell that they're checking thermal detonators, rechecking frags, making sure that they're good to go. Some of them are just like getting slings on their weapons and getting everything going. And you are now free to do as you will.
Yeah, I think Kojimal would he'd take a moment and he'd want to inspect the demolitions, and he'd just want to make sure that everything's in tip-top shape, and see if there's any like adjustments he can make to improve anything or whatever. Since he's very familiar and this is his area of expertise. And anyway, he just when he sees toys, he's got to go take a look at them. So
Sure.
he would just like go through. He'd see them anyway that they're preparing they're cleaning their weapons, preparing the explosive. And he'd just join them for a minute. He wouldn't take too long with it, but he'd just give them like a look over and make a few adjustments here and there.
Not a problem. Make me a.
Uh-oh.
I know, right? You're like,
anything.
I should have just went. Why didn't I just go?
Gone to Mormos.
okay, so make me a. Let's say a knowledge warfare check on all of these things, on the explosives. It'll be a difficulty of 2.
Okay. Okay. Do I get a boost for this being my area of expertise?
Nice try, but
Yeah, you gotta try. I
Yeah,
want to
no,
avoid
yeah.
any kind of threats or despairs here.
no worries.
2 successes and 2 threats.
Excellent. So, you tell me your successes, and
Okay, so-
and I'll tell you the threats.
So I look over what they've got, what they received from Morbo, and I can tell that it's not the best stuff that the rebellion's the rebellion's had, but it's the best that this kind of remote communications outpost, with an underground cell can put together. So I can verify that the explosives are in general working order. They'll do the job, and but there's something bad that I noticed as well.
That you do. As you were inspecting as you were inspecting the EMP weapon, you're looking over it and you realize that several of the connection points are damaged. And although it looks like a totally fine EMP, it seems that a few of them being messed up, you're not 100% sure that this is going to work.
Would I think that to repair this would require an explosives expert or an electronics expert?
It would be an explosives expert, possibly even someone with both skill sets. This is a very finicky device, and you're pretty sure that it might not work in your favor if you tried to. You could try, most certainly, but
Well, yeah, I'll get on the comms first, and I'll say, "This is Kojimal. I'm at the rendezvous with our friends here, but there's a problem with the special package that they brought to us. It seems to be somewhat of a dud at the moment. I can try to fix it, but I'm not sure if that's going to work or not."
Are you saying
What do
you
you
need my
advise?
permission are you saying that you need my permission to fix it? Fix it.
I'm informing you that the special package is non-functional, and I can attempt to fix it, but there's no guarantees. Are you fine with that? It might go off right here, right now, where I am, or it might not go off ever.
This
Or
is
if I
Salin. Try and fix it just as we're about to launch the attack. Then, if it does go off, happy days.
I can try to fix it near the objective point. So if it does go off, then at least it'll do some good.
Sounds like a plan.
Roger that.
What
So then,
about our Black Claw friends? Do they know anything? Maybe they can help you.
I'll give it a try. I'll see what they can do. And so I'll turn to the leader, and I'll say, "Friend Vratix, this device, no good, not working. Can you fix it?"
and he looks and he kind of turns to the others and they begin chittering and they all begin chittering, kind of in a very like agitated way. He takes it from your hands and he kind of sits it down, and they begin trying to tinker with it.
Did he? So he understood what I was saying with no problems?
Yes, he did.
Just to emphasize the point, Kojimal would release his pheromones, and they would hear the sound of like a static and a fizz, like when something electrical blows a fuse. They'd kind of hear that and kind of like a pop and crackle and like poof, like smell some electrical smoke, and that's kind of what he would share through the pheromones.
Yep, not a problem. And I am going to bump a dark side point. I know, right? That guy. And I'm actually going to roll physical dice. And the reason why I'm going to roll physical dice, one is I love rolling physical dice, and two, the most important part, is that as they try and fix it, you're not going to know whether or not they succeeded until you try to use it.
Awesome.
Because I'm a dick. No, I'm just, not because I'm a dick. But you know what? It is more fun this way. It really is.
Yeah, sure. I love it. Let's do it. Everybody watch his face. Let's try to gauge his reaction here. staged. I think it's good. I think it's
Oh,
good.
it's totally staged. You think?
All right, it looks like the Black Claws have fixed it. I mean, we can't
Well,
be
no,
sure. But
they're continuing to tinker. It's going to take them a while to tinker with it and try and get it sorted. So in the meantime, you're free to kind of do your own thing.
yeah, I'll just say I'm gonna hold position here for a little bit until this is fixed, and then I'll rendezvous again.
Okay.
Just because we need that EMP.
So, whoops. So you're going to head out now, Kojimal, to Morbos, right?
Well, like, is it gonna take them an hour, 2 hours, like an excessively long time to fix it, or just a few, like 15, 20 minutes?
It'll probably. Well, I mean, like I said, they're tinkering with it right now. So it's gonna take the better part of a little while to kind of go. It is starting to become evening. It did take a little while to get to the warehouse, and same with, obviously Mercer and Varick. After talking with Chance, you guys are just kind of hanging out with Morbo right now. She's kind of keeping you in the back, keeping you out of danger. She brought you some drinks. Varick, she also brought you another stim pack to kind of give you some help. Also some Bacta. So please feel free to just heal up another 7 wounds. And basically,
That
they're
will
just waiting out.
fully heal me. So I'm ready to rock and roll again.
Well, thank goodness. Because that is the one good thing about Thyferra. When you're on the home plate of where all the Bacta's made, it's pretty good. It's like having a Lego fixation and like living in Sweden. Lego. Sorry. Anyway.
And during the time there, I would have asked for either some kind of armor or clothing that Varick can actually have because of the way his robes are all messed up. And
unfortunately, Morbo say it's a bar. It's we don't have spare clothes. Sorry. Unfortunately, she had mentioned that she could try and maybe steal a trench coat if there's any. It's a jungle world, so I mean, there's not a lot in the way of coats for her to kind of swipe and kind of hand to hand off, but she'll see what she can do. Which that's kind of that. So in the meanwhile, you guys are kind of off, just kind of chilling. You guys have some drinks. She brought you a little bit of food, kind of like a nice, kind of like a roasted, some sort of a roasted, like those large praying mantises that have been around. They have a roasted version of it. It's generally for non-Vradic species, as the Vradics actually kind of like them. They think they're a relative of theirs, so they tend not to eat them. However, the humans, it's fine. So she does have that kind of roasted up. She hands it to you, and as you guys eat, sit, have a hot meal, have some beverages, and Kojimal, you're kind of ready to go. It'll take you approximately 9 minutes to walk from the warehouse to Morbo's, as Morbo basically bought this warehouse for the simple fact that it's large. She can have that tunnel system running right there, and also it's something like she could store a few bottles of her brandy, her homemade brandy there. So in the meanwhile, now that everyone's kind of linked up, Kojimal, you can arrive.
I would exit the warehouse. I'd go through that tunnel of hers, and I imagine it comes up through the storage room of her bar. Just behind some crates, there's a door that opens, and I can come in through there, come up through the back way, and meet up with these guys in the office if that's where they are.
Yep, and that is where they are. They're in the office, kind of sitting, chilling, hanging out, being heroes. And now we will go to Salin. Salin, Osoge comes to you. Hey, look, boss. We've been waiting here long enough. Don't know how long this bug perfume is gonna last, but maybe you can get on the horn. Let's start us flying out towards our destination.
The gunk on the outside of the ships will last long enough, Blood 2, but you're right, I'll get on the radio and ask for a situation update.
Good, man. Get a little
Mercer,
time.
this is yes, indeed. Mercer, this is Salin. Are you reading me?
You're muted, Gabe.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Mercer?
Wow, wouldn't want to connect or click. Affirmative, I can hear you, and Kojimal is here. He just got here. You said 15, 20 minutes, right?
That's right, 15 minutes.
All right.
The Black Claws are in position.
Then do your startup probably in 15, so that'll be, you should be here by a half hour to 40 minutes.
Now keep in mind, it'll take 10 to 15 minutes to fly.
Mm-hmm.
Fly around, come back. It'll take another half an hour to fly from those mountains to the city.
Okay, I thought, okay.
Yeah.
So, half hour. Perfect timing then. Yeah, so, yeah, we'll definitely be already engaged. Hopefully not, but, you know, if we have whatever we have to do, just be sure to have those things fly with you.
Okay, we'll commence our run now, and you'll hear me turn to the others, and I'll be like, Asogi, Cav Merrick, get yourselves ready. We're taking off.
Yeah, it's about time. Come on, Cav Merrick. I bet I can take more of these eagles than you can.
Good hunting, Mercer. May the force be with you all.
And one last thing. Do not hit. Do not hit. Whatever you do, do not even aim at Warehouse 8301. It will not end good for any of us.
And Salin, one more thing. Fly safe, and no more daydreaming.
Roger that, Kojimal.
Keep it together, man.
I'll pass the warehouse that we're not supposed to shoot at to Asogi and Cav Merrick. Say, under no circumstances, target that building.
All right. What about the Bacta? Are we blowing it up, or are we saving it?
Mercer, you've been on the actual site. What is our target for our bombing run?
The bombing run can be Warehouse 18315, 18314, 13, 12, and 10. And there's some kind of hangar. If you want to blow that up, have at it. But do not hit 18301, 183 20A and B. That is where the Bacta is at, and our target is in 183 20B.
Received and understood.
Sorry, just before we continue, Mercer, can you tell me what those bombing run orders were again? It was 183.
21, 15, which is like the buildings underneath it.
Yep.
And then any of the alcoves, which is 8, 13, 12, and 10. And then, of course, the hangar. So it'll be whale wave from 183-1 from where the armament's at.
And I'll obviously pass that information on to Asogi and Cav Merrick.
And Kojimal says, "Why? What's in Warehouse 1? Why can't we bomb that?"
During our
Bacta
mission,
there?
No, I just said where the Bacta was. During the time that we're in there, there's that's where we had our scuffle at, and we do not want to hit there first because if we do, there'll be probably people waiting. But if you time it for one where the actual battle is actually happening, if anybody is in there, is going to join the fight. That is when you go in 183-1. That is where you're going to be in heaven. Get what you can carry. Get what you need. There's much to blow up. If you use it, or that building gets blown up in any way, then 3 blocks around us, and I don't mean little blocks, I mean warehouse districts, is not going to be no more. So be very careful in there.
Well, that definitely sounds like someplace I want to visit, that's for sure.
And that's why I say do it during the battle and not beforehand, because I'm sure if they'll do it like I would definitely have people in there, especially if a scuffle's already happened in there.
Okay, we're going to commence our attack run shortly. I'm going to maintain comm silence until we near the target. Salin, over and out.
Okay. And Salin, as you hop into your X-Wing, your astromech droid actually says something to you for the first time obviously in droid, so you don't really understand, but it's just one quick little, and as the canopy closes, you begin to rise up. Asoge and Kavmarek also begin to rise up, and you begin to head northwest. What speed do you wish to fly at? Do you wish to go full speed?
We're not punching it, but we'll accelerate up to as quickly as we can without sort of straining the engines. We're really going to need that speed on the way back.
Understood. And again, as per the last session, because the X-wings were in such good shape, you can you do accelerate a lot quicker. You actually can push the engines a bit better than some of a fair bit of the other X-wings in the rebellion. So you just begin to shoot fast. You begin
as we're heading off. I'm going to get on the comms to the other 2 ships, and I'll say, "This is Blood 1 to Blood 2 and 3. Have your astromechs scan to the outer reaches of the X-wing scanners. We don't want any unexpected surprises. When we're being pursued, angle your deflector shields to the rear."
Roger that, Blood Leader. And the Blood 3 just kind of doesn't really say anything, but you kind of assume that at least you hope that he's doing exactly what you ask for, and he just kind of does his thing. You begin to head towards, and within 10-15 minutes you begin to see these spires of stone kind of cropping up, and some leading to almost like natural archways of mountains. And just overhanging with this lush greenery, everywhere where there's almost a flat surface, some type of tree or grass or something has kind of affixed itself to the stone, just growing, just giving you this feel that this world is just so full of lush greenery that you cannot stop it for anything. It is then that you begin to see in the distance these large, kind of slow moving, gliding birds, kind of flying around. Some of them are perched upon the cliffs of the actual stone itself, with these nests all built up. Some with sticks, some with even parts of machinery that have been dug into the wall, or dug into the sides of these cliffs, kind of hanging up. You almost hear through the canopy the cacophony of eagles just squawking and screeching all around as you begin to head through. It is my assumption that you wish to attract as many as possible. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'm basically going to get on the comm system, and I'm going to say, "This is Blood Leader. Stand by your engines, Blood 1 and 2, Blood 2 and 3. Let's send them a welcome message." And then the idea is basically we're all going to sort of roughly strafe the area, not really looking to hit anything, looking to just attract their attention with our lasers to get them to have a look and realise there's something there, and then hopefully the gunk that we've got on the ship will do the rest.
You got it, Blood Leader. Let's do this. And
commence firing.
and so they all begin to shoot, firing not in linked, but in single shot. They just begin to fire, like, just kind of around the stone, down, up. You suddenly see, like, just the whole sky turn almost red as the bright sun, or the dying sun, just begins to shine through their feathers, giving this like red glow. It's like the whole sky has begun to bleed. As you begin to fly.
Looks like we've got their attention, boys. Let's do this thing.
So now, are you going to fly straight on through? Do you want to turn around, or what do you want to do right now?
Yeah, but basically, my idea is if I'm sort of like at the front with the two of them behind me, we're sort of going to go towards them, then at the last second sort of brake, wheel round, and head backwards, which will hopefully give them time to smell the gunk and follow us.
Okay, so you want to get as close to the mountains as possible, and then kind of shoot around.
Yeah,
Yes,
we need to get close enough. Yeah, we need to get close enough for this Bacta that's on the outside to sort of reach them, so they'll start following us. And we can't go too fast, otherwise they'll lose interest as the Black Claws come.
Okay, so you feel that if you were to like kind of like dive in between like some of these mountain peaks and begin to like kind of twist and curl your way as all these birds are kind of like up in the air, like the more you twist and turn through it, the more your smell kind of like lingers off and will attract them, and kind of bring it through. And then you'll attract.
And that,
you'll attract.
That is what we'll do.
Cool. So I'll tell you what. So as you're kind of like right now, you're going to be skimming through two mountain peaks. So what I need you to do is first make me a piloting planetary check. This will be a difficulty of 2.
Okay. Do I get a bonus dice for having the astromech assist me?
If you wish to have the astromech assist you, you can.
Oh yeah.
However, if it's going to be a little while before the astromech will assist you again, and this is only to keep from spamming like constant boosts.
Yeah. That's fine. I'm quite happy to use it here, since obviously if we don't get their attention, then all of this has been for nothing. I'm also going to burn a force dice.
Nice. All right.
Let me just check what my final score is. Okay. Oh, ignore the force dice that's on it.
Okay, yeah, I was going to say, like, huh? Wow. Okay. So for those of you at home who cannot see, John rolled 2 successes, an advantage, and a triumph. Because why not? Because, you know, why swat a fly when you can shoot it with a Vulcan cannon? So as you skim through, tell me what this looks like, especially with that kind of a roll.
Okay, so as we move through the peaks, Blood 2 and 3 falling into formation behind me, we sort of dart in and out of these craggy sort of peaks that are raised around this nest area of these birds, sort of spiraling round and round, sort of corkscrewing almost as we do, spreading the scent of this Bacta. Then as we move through it, we pull up, sort of reversing round, going upside down briefly, spinning around, and then heading back in the opposite direction. So as these birds start sort of becoming aware of our presence, shooting through them, using our thrusters, and then heading off towards the base with this huge red cloud of feathers and death rising behind us.
And funny enough, I did do the calculations with what you rolled, and you have managed to pull at least about 80 Blood Eagles. Now, now, please understand, that's like 80 X-Wing sized creatures that are now flying behind you. Now, I need to know, what speed are you flying at right now? From 1 to 5. 5 is obviously your max. 1 is obviously very slow.
Okay, what we'll be doing is at the start we'll be going at 4. If it looks like they're falling behind, we'll slow down a little bit. If it looks like they're sort of gaining on us, we'll speed up a bit. We're basically looking, because we know they can't fly quite as fast as us, because the Black Hawks, so the
Black Claws?
The Black Claw tribe, said that if we flew too fast, they'd lose interest. So basically, we're sort of playing it a bit by ear. We're going at 4 at the start. If they're catching up, if they're falling behind, we'll slow down a bit to keep the chase going on. If they're catching up with us, we'll speed up a bit, just trying to stay a little bit ahead of them. We're not so much that they lose interest.
So, going at speed 4, you quickly realize that you are moving much faster than they can fly.
We'll slow it down a bit then.
Okay, so slowing it down to 2, you realize that now slowing it down to 1 allows them to kind of catch up, and then back up to 2. Now you're at an equidistant, or you're at an equilibrium basically, which Totally Off Game is like an awesome movie. So if you guys ever wanted to watch Equilibrium, watch it. Awesome. All right, so the Eagles are like now basically in tandem with you. They're about, let's say, about 200 feet away, 300 feet away. It's far enough that they're trying to chase you. That you can see, like, their beaks are snapping. They want to attack you. You even see a couple of them rise up, and you now notice how Blood Eagles operate. Is that they rise up, but when they shoot down, you can actually see their speed go up. They actually move faster than you, end up shooting underneath, coming up, and then slowing down, and then backing out over top of you. And you just, again, get this beautiful sight above your canopy as this massive eagle with its blood-red, waxy wings just kind of like floats past, back towards you, and then back into formation with the other eagles. Some of them are
Blood
even...
Leader. Have your astromechs begin manning the scanners. Angle all deflector shields to the rear. Maintain formation.
You got it, Blood Leader. Hey, Kavmerick, I got at least 20. How about you? And for the first time, you actually hear him speak. 40. That's it. Well, next time. So I'm buying drinks at the mess. Blood Leader, this is Blood 2. We've got enough birds on our tail to really cause the Empire some difficulty.
Let's head to the base then, Blood 2.
We're hidden 5 by 5, but I'll say this right now, Blood Leader. Not sure if we run into complications, how long these eagles are going to want to stay to us if we have to defend ourselves. Let us do our best.
This is Blood Leader. If one of us falls whilst we're trying to get to the base, the important thing is the mission has to succeed. Whoever falls gets left behind. The others have to make sure these birds get to the base. The others are relying on us. Do you understand?
Reading you 5 by 5. Let's go do this. And they begin. And as you guys are heading in, Salin, you get your communicator goes off. The communicator in your X-wing.
I'll press sort of like effectively so they can't hear me, but so I can hear what's coming through.
So, you are taking it to the Empire. I commend you. I do. I am Commander Laura of the Imperial Bounty Hunter Unit. This is what is going to happen. You're going to abandon this ridiculous pursuit. You're going to land your X-Wing. You're not going to try and attack Warehouse 183 Bravo.
Whilst this conversation is going on, obviously they can't hear me. I'm just going to get talking to my R2 unit. I'm going to go, trace that transmission.
And then as Lura continues, you're going to land, you're going to give me your vessel. After that, you can go. I am not without a bit of compassion. You can stay on Thyferra until the 4 of you get enough money to get a ship or provide yourselves with transport to get out. I want your ship. I want you to not attack Warehouse 183 Bravo. If you do not, well, you can understand the consequences of your actions. I will destroy you. Quite frankly, I'm just sick of the entire thing, and I'm getting a little sick of chasing you.
Any luck on that trace or two?
He's trying to trace it, and on your display screen he kind of indicates that it is coming from in front of you.
This is Blood Leader to Blood Squadron. We may have a problem. I'm going to go and deal with it. Make sure you get those birds to the base. Do you understand me? The mission has to come first.
Whoa, wait a minute, Blood Leader. This is Blood 2. You're the one with the fancy Bacta on your ship.
It's on all our ships, you idiot.
No, wait a minute. Remember, you got the concentrated stuff. We've got regular Bacta. If the birds don't follow you, and you go off doing your thing, the birds are going to leave. And then what?
Fine. Blood 2 and 3. I'm sending you over what coordinates I've got. Try and deal with this commander. I'll continue with the birds. Try not to get yourselves killed.
Hey, either way, it's going to be a lot of fun. And you see them performing the maneuver as that would be punch it. So going from 2 to 5, they just both shoot past, and they both kind of half roll and quickly disappear into the horizon. As you are following, you begin to see the city kind of laid out before you.
As we start getting in range of the base, I'm gonna get on the comms, and I'll say, "This is Blood Leader to Mercer. Mercer, come in."
Mercer here. What's up?
We are approaching target. I have 80 of the individuals following my vessel.
Very well. We're on our way.
Understood. You'll recognize my signal.
I'm sure we will.
Over and out.
And as you are beginning to almost head into the outskirts, Mercer, Kojimal, and Varick, you guys actually begin to hear a siren wail, mostly reminiscent of like an air raid siren. You hear a lot of people kind of like, you hear a commotion inside the bar area of Morbo's, and what sounds like a lot of footfalls as people are running out. Also, now going back to you, Salin, you hear over your comms, "This is Blood 2. We managed to take down two of the 3. There's one. They're in a put," and then you just hear
jamming their signal,
and you just hear nothing but static.
Okay, am I within range of the base enough to launch my proton torpedoes?
You are still probably about a good 7-8 minutes away from the base, at least something that you could see. You have, I mean, you've got your targeting computer. You're still going to be a little bit.
Okay. I'm going to keep pushing on. I'll tell R2 to carry on manning the scanners. I don't want to be taken by surprise by a TIE fighter that's springing from nowhere.
All of a sudden you hear, "Wow!" And all of a sudden,
on the radar.
All of a sudden, you don't need to look on the radar, because directly in front of you, you see a TIE interceptor shoot straight down, come straight up, faster than your ship can even fly, just mind-bogglingly quick. Done, and then straight up. And we're going to roll initiative at this point.
Splendid.
Which I just
Set my dice appropriately.
That's all right. I just have to double check myself. So
I'll flip a destiny point. Why not?
guess what? Me too. Wait.
Two advantages.
Yeah. All right. Well. So you don't see anything. All you saw was the TIE Interceptor shoot straight up and then come straight down again. So it's coming directly straight down on top of you as your ship is flying. And it begins to fire at you.
Okay.
Which, as much as I hate to say it, I'm going to have to look at my cards here because...
Yeah, no problems, dude.
Oh, okay. Really? Oh, that's the wrong one. I was wondering why. I'm like, why is this so low? Oh, that makes more sense. So that, and... Okay. As it comes down, it fires straight down. It causes you to kind of jolt yourself because the TIE Interceptor, especially something as you've seen or if you've even heard of stories before, the TIE Interceptor is no joke. And those that fly the TIE Interceptor are those that need to be revered, feared, and respected. You, on your next attack, will gain 1 setback die from this, and as the interceptor again, like, it shoots straight out, comes straight down, and you can almost feel the engines as it just narrowly misses your body and shoots straight forward, also frightening off a few of the birds. From 80 Blood Eagles, you are now down to 75.
That's fine by me.
It is
as
now,
it swoops in close, I'm just going to stick my hand against the sort of like the inside of my cockpit window, like.
That gesture isn't known in the Empire.
Hey, just because they don't understand ancient quarreling sorts, that's not my problem. They should get about more.
Fair ball. So it is now your turn.
Okay, what I'm actually going to try and do is I'm going to ignore the TIE fighter. I'm not actually going to launch an attack back at it. All my effort is going to be put into evasion and getting into range of the base as quickly as possible. I'm just full on trying to evade it.
Okay. Shoot. Damn it, I did. So I'm the worst person. So if you're a DM, just to let you folks know at home, if you're a DM, make sure you have the damn core book near you so you can do a maneuver. If you guys will excuse me for just a moment, I am just going to run and grab my book, because when it comes to maneuvers and everything else, this is kind of something that you can't memorize. You actually need the books for. So 1 second there, folks. Sorry about this.
Oh, Mike, I am going to redirect my shields so they're sort of facing the TIE fighter.
Well, it's a TIE Interceptor, just to let you know.
Well, TIE Interceptor.
Okay.
They all look the same to me. I'm not a mechanic. I'm a pilot.
Oh, snap. It's a good thing I didn't have, like, the TIE Phantom there. I mean, that really would have messed you up. But,
that'd have been a real menace.
Ooh. Okay. Yeah, just give me 1 sec. Really? Oh, thank goodness. Found it with very little damage. Yeah. So again, folks, for future reference, definitely make sure that you have all of your stuff with you before you decide to run a game. Anywho, so it is your turn, Salin. You want to you wish to do evasive maneuvers, correct?
Effectively, yeah.
Okay, so please understand that with evasive maneuvers, you're going to have to increase your speed, because right now you are flying at a speed of 2. Evasive maneuvers can work only with a speed 3+.
Okay, I'll increase speed to 3 then.
Okay. As you increase your speed, you can see a few of the other eagles beginning to give up. You've lost another 5 eagles. Just are like, you know what? You're just not worth it, you crazy metal-skinned bastard. And they just turn around and fly off. That's another 5 gone. So you now have 70. The evasive maneuvers. Sorry, I'm just double checking. Okay, cool. Now you do have a maneuver. Your maneuver is done. Do you wish to also attack? Not that you can technically see it because you'd have to kind of bank and turn, but I'm assuming like you're just trying to kind of dodge and weave as you head towards your target.
Yeah, I'm trying to save my payload for the base.
Roger that. Okay. Back to Commander Lura. Commander Lura, seeing the eagles, she kind of dives underneath and then comes up to hit you. Which
okay, I currently have 2 defense due to my shield, so that'll be 2 setback dice.
Yep, and I'm going to add that to it. Okay, so again, coming down, she misses you, but firing away, she actually caused you to veer off, bank off, as those lasers are coming way too close. She's good, she's very, very good, and she begins to kind of turn, bank off, and then disappear again underneath the ship. You cannot see her at this point. So now is your turn.
How far away am I from, given the speed we're going, how far away am I now from being within range of the base?
You're about 6 or 7 minutes, but at your current speed, if you do not slow down, 5 more eagles are going to basically disappear.
And roughly how many rounds will it take before I'm in range? Sorry, I'm trying to take it to rounds.
Totally. Oh, I apologize. It'll probably take you about 2 more rounds. Excuse me.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah. Evasive maneuvers. Then keep going. I'll let the 5 go off. We've still got 65. That's still good.
Okay. And then once again, she banks off, and this time she fires basically everything at you and basically the entire cluster of eagles that are nipping at your thrusters, that are very, very close by. And because of such a big target, sorry, folks. For those of you watching at home, I rolled 2 triumphs and a success. So I'm just give me a second here, because okay. So here's the triumph. Here's the first triumph, because already we obviously have hit you, but here's the first.
Yeah.
So the first triumph. Blasting through with one of the eagles, you see kind of in the back as you're flying forward, your eyes are focused on your target, a plume of feathers, blood-streaked feathers, begin to kind of like burst over and kind of hit your canopy and begin to like shoot off with the wind. A lot of eagles have basically been shot down. You hear the death screeches of probably a good 15 to 20 as these medium lasers easily punch through the bodies of these creatures, slamming, going from one to another to another to another, as biological flesh is no match for a medium laser cannon, let alone 4. 20 eagles fall to the ground, and they begin to fall to into the city.
Mm-hmm.
You are now down to 40?
45, I believe.
45. That's the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Now for the Triumph, I just need to... There it is. The Triumph, several of the hits also hit you. And I'm going to just roll on the crit chart. Wait, whoa, easy there. Okay, so 47. We're going to go with 47 right now, not the stupid amount of successes in one threat that are apparent there.
Okay, I've got the critical hit table here. Yeah, I've got it as well. Component hit. One component of the attacker's choice is knocked offline and becomes inoperative for a round.
Okay. Actually, wait. You know what? Instead of being a jerk, I am going to actually roll a d8 because I think that's kind of the fair thing to do. That's a d6. There it is. So I'm going to roll a d8 and I'm going to tell you what it is. Okay. So, when she hits you, and I'm sorry to say this, but...
Oh, good man.
All right. It seems to go, like, directly under your hull. Like, just shave off your hull. You get hit. You get your astromech droid indicates on a kind of communique between you and it. Your proton torpedo launchers are offline.
Okay.
They have been damaged. If you try to use them, it seems like it might go off in the launcher itself. That's how badly damaged they are. And your astromech droid, kind of in a snarky, cynically type of way, is relaying that information to you on this little...
Amidst the sort of crackling of the damage, I'll just be shouting for the R2 unit to get those damn proton torpedo launchers back online as soon as possible.
Okay. And it just kind of like honks, squeaks, and farts back at you. Only because I think you know exactly what I'm talking about. Like that, you know, that time in like Return of the Jedi when, you know, when R2-D2 was like, "Don't you sass me," you know, in that little R2 way, and I can't do that. I can't do that. I can whistle and...
I understand.
Okay, good. Good. You folks at home, if you haven't seen Return of the Jedi, there's something wrong with you. It's the second greatest movie ever made. I'm just kidding. It's the greatest movie ever made. So it attempts to try and fix what the problem is. Meanwhile, it is now your turn as the TIE interceptor actually shoots ahead of you, underneath you, and you see it just rocket straight ahead of you, like fast.
Okay, at which point I'm going to fire my forward quad-mounted medium laser cannons at it.
Okay, It is
I can just keep going forward and firing now. Lovely jubbly.
No worries. It is going to be a difficulty of 2. Also, I'm going to burn 1 dark point to upgrade one of those dice to 1 red, simply because the speed of this thing is not messing around. It is almost a full speed increment faster than yours, and she punched it as fast as she went.
Okay. Given the amount of time that's passed, can I now claim assistance from the astromech? Or no, because it's repairing the torpedo launchers. Forget I asked that.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to aim. And then I've burnt a destiny point, and I'm going to take my shot. Just 1 advantage.
Okay. All four of your medium laser cannons just and causes the ship to bank in a very, very awkward way. You could definitely tell that this pilot, although she knows what she's doing, it caught her a bit by surprise. She thought that you would be just a sitting duck. She has to shoot, and instead of being able to come around in a sharp angle, she actually has to bank further around just because you caught her by surprise. So now she has to... Yeah?
I'll use that to add a setback dice to their next roll.
Indeed.
So that'd be 3 setback dice total.
And shooting back, like, straight forward, she tried to, like, turn too sharply. And I'm going to add 1 more to that. There we go. And then she's going to try and fire at you again. Please ignore the 75%. Although that might be what your ship is at. We'll see. Yeah, I know I'm going to be that asshole. Dang it, there it is. So, ooh. Okay. So you... So you take, what is that now? 6 damage, or 6 hull trauma.
Okay, so minus my armor, so that's 3.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
As like she just tears right into just you, and even though it was a sharp turn, I mean, you can definitely tell the TIE Interceptor is a very, very maneuverable little craft. So I mean, it comes around, it fires at you, and then it kind of banks up, curls, and then goes right past you. You can barely make out the ship on your furthest right-hand side.
Okay.
And it is now your turn.
Okay, so for on the next round, I should now be in range.
Correct. You can now, from your astro computer, you can actually make out the base. It actually has a targeting. Where do you want to target? Actually, is the first thing.
I'm gonna set the targets as out of the list of warehouses that I was given by Mercer. Basically, whichever ones, because obviously we've all seen the sort of plan, whichever ones are nearest to me, which are on that list that Mercer gave me.
Okay,
Well,
And that'll
I'm
be
just gonna
183.21.
So I'm going to pull up the map right now. So you're basically, as I'm looking at the map, you're coming in from the right-hand side.
Okay.
Is that correct?
Right-hand side.
I'm asking you.
No, I'm coming. Oh, I'm coming in from the bottom side of the map.
Okay. Okay. So you're coming in from there.
Yeah. So it's basically 183.15, 183.21. They're the two that are going to get it first with a couple of the proton torpedoes, since they're only inactive for a turn, so I should be able to fire them now. So I'm just going to launch 2 of the torpedoes at the targets, and then sort of you guys will hear me on the comms. You can hear like the explosions in the background and the sound of these birds screeching, and I'll be like, "Missile 1 away, Missile 2 away, targeting warehouse 21 and 15."
I'm taking heavy fire.
And the two, as Mercer, now at this point, we're just going to pull the camera away, and we're going to retcon just a bit. You've been on comms for a little while now. During the entire time that Salin has been coming in with the X-Wing and the Blood Eagles, where have you been? The three of you, where have you been?
Once we heard the sirens, I would have been like, okay, that's our cue, and then kind of got lost in the crowd from behind, and then went to the west side of the facility, and then would have probably used our little foothold that we already had there, and then climbed the fence, all three of us, and basically helped the other two, and then I would have gone up last, basically doing the help over the wall and come down. So we would probably be near 183-2, 3, and I would have pointed out 1 for Kojimal. That is the building you want to hit later.
Kojimal would have stopped back at the warehouse with the Black Claws, and he would have picked up the EMP before running off to the objective point.
Okay.
Just so we have that, and we can try to use it when we need to use it, instead of just leaving it with them to use it whenever.
All right.
So he'll have the satchel, and it has the EMP in it. So he'll say to Mercer before he splits off to go to the warehouse 1, he'll say, you know, just let me know, just give me a signal when you want me to blow the EMP. Let's see if this thing works. Hopefully the Black Claw know what they're doing.
I'm sure you'll know exactly when to use it. Just be ready. And I'll warn him about some kind of big walking mechanical thing. That would probably be one of the big targets to actually help us on the ground. But you'll know.
That will definitely be the time to use it then. All right, good hunting. I'm going to make my way to Warehouse 1.
And as the 15 Black Claws and yourself, Kojimal, kind of like head to that area, you can see that the Vratics are excellent at almost working together in a way that is that's not, no communication is even needed. You don't even smell any of the pheromones. It's just boom, boom, boom. They kind of like two crawl over top of others, kind of link together and just quickly form a chain where the others begin crawling up and over, and they begin to secure a position. You are right in front of warehouse 18301. While the door is slightly ajar, you suddenly hear to your right blaster fire as one of the Black Claws take down one of the camera or the surveillance droids. You hear, and it kind of shoots out, spins around, and kind of ricochets, like taking the corner off of 18302 warehouse. Do keep in mind, all of the warehouses do have like a large painted stenciled number across like the left-hand corner, at least as you're looking at the door. The left-hand corner will have 183 dash 01, 183-02, and so on and so forth. The camera droid just kind of like smashes off it and just kind of disintegrates to the into kind of like the kind of alleyway or just like thoroughfare of that warehouse. You begin to hear boots along the ground, kind of moving quickly, but they seem distant, so it seems to be kind of okay. I'm going to take the camera. We're going to move it over to both Mercer and Varick. Where are you gentlemen during this? It would help though. You're muted.
I kind of figured I was going to.
Yeah, and actually, to be fair, that's two.
I would have looked at.
I'm pretty sure at the third time I'm allowed to flip a light side point to dark side.
Alrighty. I'll look at Varick and kind of like I'm following his lead because I know we're trying to sneak on, but I got your back, and my guess would probably be go between 183.2 and 3, and then kind of sneak in, and then follow where there's heavy footsteps of soldiers, kind of use that to hide our movement behind them. I wouldn't take any shots because I am trying to get much, much closer to that other building. And once I see more chaos happen, then we have to go from there.
Yeah, I imagine we want to get as close as we can to 183-20A and B before we have to start. So just as quickly and stealthily as we can, moving along the buildings, making our way in that direction. And of course, if we counter in resistance, I'll try to take them out by hand as quick as possible. Or if it's a large group, try to avoid it.
Sure. As you make your way through in between the buildings 183-2 and 3, you see for the first time what is making that sound, as you just kind of catch the tail end of an AT-ST walking, just making those huge heavy footfalls, clomping towards 183-01. Following behind quickly are another 10 stormtroopers heading towards that warehouse. You see again, it basically the same sort of complement, same sort of setup as the 5 that you faced before. One light repeating blaster, several blaster rifles, and again this time unfortunately the AT-ST, with its heavy blaster cannons and a lot of bristling with ordnance, basically, as it's walking towards the stormtroopers, using it for cover as they advance on that warehouse. So
are they in front of us then?
They basically literally just moved past you.
Okay.
Actually, if you'll, I'm sorry guys, if you just want to excuse me for just like 2 seconds, I'll be right back. Sorry, just 1 second.
Did you ever get a chance to get those 2 detonators operational that we took from the...
I would have tried to, yeah, but never came to the roll for it.
Okay.
Yeah, but I was definitely wanted to do it in between. But there was a lot of camera switches, so I guess if we can get the rolls for that, I mean, I don't know. Otherwise, I would have tried to get them going.
It seems like while we were waiting at Morbo's, we would have had a chance. You would have had the time to tinker with those.
Quick question for you guys. Logically speaking, do you think blowing the EMP would have any negative effect on the thermal detonators and stuff like that if they have electronic detonators?
Technically, yes, because you want to do those first, and then that would be last. Because I'm even thinking that would destroy any even blasters that we have, even because it's still run off of energy and.
So I'm wondering if the thermal detonators would be okay though, because they're not armed yet. They're kind of off. They're in their off status, right? So I think the electronics.
Well, if it works, yeah, I think as long as stuff is off at the time, they're fine.
Yeah. So only the armed explosives would fry, basically.
So that's something that you could do with the weapons too. Is I don't know if there's a way you could. I doubt if they have an off switch, but it seems like there'd be some way to pull the power or something to disable it.
Fry the power cells in their blasters. Anyway, GM's back.
Sorry, I had to use a little Jedi's room, and I kind of figured you guys were going to start planning stuff. And
no secret plotting going on here.
Yeah, I'm sure.
The 2 detonators we did have, I'm knowing we would have plenty of time to do that. Do you want a roll from the picks them, or is it just kind of, are they mediocre since we had all kinds of time in the world, in a sense? We had well over 2 to 3 hours.
You're talking about the thermal detonators?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no. You did succeed. You've had a lot of time to very slowly and very methodically and very carefully fix them up in Morbo's bar. Plus, also, you're almost pretty sure that if those thermal detonators had gone off, Morbo would find some way to kick the shit out of you at some point in some life in another plane of existence. So you had some motivation there. They work just fine. Not sure if the same could be said for the EMP, but hey.
Nope, that's fine. We'll see when that happens.
Yep. I did roll for it. I'm not going to tell you guys.
So how close did this group pass by us?
They were within about 50 feet.
Okay.
Like you did just see. I mean, obviously, an AT-ST is probably about 20, 25 feet high. You obviously, you could see that, and you could see like the stormtroopers. I mean, even in your vision, they're probably about about that high. But they're still a good 50 feet away, and they're just running, and they're not paying attention to you. Like single track mind, as is soldiers of the Empire, and they're basically heading. You can see them heading towards the wall, and then going to turn left, kind of bank around 183-01.
So they're on the opposite side of the building from me, basically?
Yeah, well, kind of kitty corner to you. So basically, they want to come around between the wall, like the wall of the warehouse district at 18301. They want to take that avenue and then swing around.
And I'm coming up the west wall, right?
That's correct, yeah. So they're going to basically hit the corner of the west, between the north and the west wall, and then shoot down, find out where you guys are.
So they're heading like south.
Yeah, we're heading east.
Well, yeah, you guys are headed east. They're headed north. They just swung past 183-3, heading to 183-2, and then 183-01, and they're shooting around.
Okay. So they're going the opposite way, and then so we want to give them sufficient distance, and then cut to the east. Basically, when we have to come to an intersection, running as quick and low as possible, and then crouching down and scouting out the next area before we move on.
Okay, so basically you guys now are going to be heading, so you're at the corner of 183-3, and you're going to be running over to 183-7. What I need to do is to have you guys both make stealth checks as you run kind of unimpeded, hopefully, between those two warehouse districts.
Okay.
It'll be a difficulty of 3 because everyone is now alerted to your presence.
Kojimal's doing the same thing, but going north towards 01.
Okay, so you're going to be heading. You're basically going to meet them, basically. Now, are you going to?
They're coming up, right? They're coming up from the south, and Varick and Mercer are moving east. Kojimal's going to go.
They're coming around from the north. As a matter of fact,
okay.
I'll do it this way.
All right. If Kojimal sees that he can't get there, then he'll stick with Varick and Mercer then.
Okay. So you can see me on the map. You can see the map. How I'm doing right now. Did I do it right?
No.
No?
Just your pretty face still, sorry.
Oh my goodness, you poor guys. Okay. How about now?
Yeah. Yes. Okay.
All right. All right. Okay, so here's the thing. So let's go with green. Right now, Varick and Mercer are right here. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
That's Varick and Mercer. Well, the Black Claws and you, Kojimal, landed probably, I'd say, about what, here?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
And where are they?
This is Varick and Mercer are over here. Now, as Varick and Mercer, when they were heading in this direction, and they first came to about there, they saw an AT-ST and 10 stormtroopers kind of headed in this direction. And given Mercer's abilities, he kind of realized that it looks like they might be heading up this way, straight down this way, and then over. So that's where that's which way they're going. The Black Claws, one of them killed a camera droid about here, knocked him right out of commission, and then I guess all the bits kind of hit the fan. So that's kind of where we're at right now.
So what I'm going to do, since I tend to be a little faster and stealthier than Mercer. I'm going to let him go first. I'm going to stay crouched down at the edge. And once he gets across, then I'm going to go, assuming, no hell breaks loose.
Okay. So Mercer, I need you to make a stealth check, difficulty of 3.
Yeah, I did. I actually got 2 advantages, and I probably would have moved in timing with the soldier footsteps, and probably with the ATST footprints, because it's much louder and more of a shock. Would have moved in with that, and then with the 2 advantages, I probably would have done a quick maneuver just to get on the other side of the building. So if anybody did kind of hear me, I would have already been past, because it was just been like move and then move faster.
Okay, so you are here, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay. So, now I'm just going to double check here. So you, I see, okay, Varick, you also made your roll.
Well, I got 1 failure and 3 advantage.
Okay.
So I don't know what that... If I get spotted, I know what my plan is and what I want to use my advantage for. Is to...
No problem. And you do very much so. One Stormtrooper is kind of like looking back, checking his 6 as they're going upwards, and as you run, you're spotted, and he kind of looks and, hey, and the others, and well, at least one other Stormtrooper kind of looks back, but the advantages, of course, are yours.
So basically, as I'm running across and I hear that and I know I'm spotted, I'm going to stop and I'm going to turn and look and wait a moment to make sure that they see me. Then I'm going to start backing up and duck back behind warehouse 183.3. But basically, I want to get their attention and have them focused on me to allow Gabe to continue forward.
Okay. All right, so you're here now. Whoa, wow, okay. So for the record, drawing with a mouse is a lot more difficult than it looks. All right, so
basically, it's more like scribbling.
I know, right?
I'm gonna be with my back pressed against the wall right around the corner, and I'm gonna withdraw out my vibro sword and be waiting for the first one that comes around.
Okay. And now for you, Gabe, or Mercer, excuse me, sorry. You're still at this point. Are you going to be moving at all, or are you going to kind of stay your position as well?
My whole heart says to stay, but I'm getting the motion from Varick to keep going. I have a feeling he knows what he's doing, so I'm going to let him. It seems like he works better when nobody's watching him versus when someone's watching him to see how he does things. And my mission is to keep going. I have a mission to do. My boys know exactly what they're doing. I trust them. And I'm going to continue, and I'll actually make a left-hand turn going up on 183.7 and then duck in between going across, which is 10, 11, and 12. So I'll be going to that little alley there. Yeah, so, right there.
So basically you want to go this way?
No.
Oh, no, okay. I was going to say, wait a minute. Oh, I see. You want to go this? Whoa.
Yeah.
You want to go
this?
You
must go east and then make a turn to the north.
Yeah.
That way, and...
Yeah.
Correct.
That way. Okay.
Correct.
All right, so basically in line with the ATST hangar kind of a thing.
In a sense, yeah. But that'll give me more idea of what's going on in the battlefield and away from... I can't scroll because I'm thinking I'm on the actual picture, and then kind of make my way towards the back. But yeah, because I know 14, 15, and 21 are going to be in flames hopefully soon. So.
Okay. As you make your way, as you run down past, and you make a quick left-hand turn, run up. It's pretty. You're making really good time. As you run past 11 and 10, you do realize that the doors are open, and although no one seems to be inside, the doors are open, and you can easily walk in whenever you'd like into any of these warehouses, per se.
Do I hear anything besides just the doors open, or does it feel like, to me, perfect place for an ambush?
The doors seem like open, at least as far as you remember from your conversation with Chance, as that's what he was going to do, was cause all the doors to open up for you.
Oh, that's right. Okay, I thought it was just on 20. Okay, I get it. Then what I will do is 183.10.
Yep.
Once I get past or get near them, I'll actually push the button for the detonator, and then kind of roll it in and duck down straight south from that T there.
So to like pass like
kinda
through
like
183, 11, and 12.
Yeah, just so I'm not near that explosion. If you go up, if anything, I'm going to come straight down, and
so basically,
if I do anything
this way,
and then it'll be right there. It'll be that quick left. So I'll be going between 12 and 13.
So here.
Yeah, I'm going to use the building to hide myself after whoever comes out exploded, or that building is, and see what kind of commotion happens.
Okay. What I need you to do.
Okay.
Is make me an athletics check.
Okay.
I need you. It's going to be a difficulty of 3.
Okay. And I will upgrade for the Destiny.
Okay.
And you want an athletics and for 3.
Yeah.
All right, so that's 2 failures and 5 advantages.
Okay. I need you to tell me the advantages first.
Okay, so the advantages, let's see. And ignore environmental effects, which is for 3. And then I have 2 more. I'm going to add a setback to the next NPC's character check.
Actually, we could do that just fine.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you why. As a matter of fact, I just want you to know that when you threw that, did you throw a thermal detonator?
It was that detonator, yeah, on 10.
So, interesting thing about 183-B is that when they were making it, when they were filling up the warehouses, they realized that they have so much ordnance that they need to place it in 2 different warehouses. Unfortunately, it was warehouse 183-01 and 183-10. As you've thrown the thermal detonator into a warehouse full of other both thermal detonators, frag grenades, and landmines and other such ordnance, you hear a massive explosion. Instantly, 183-09 is vaporized, along with 183-11 and 183-12. You hear the screech of metal and screaming Varick as the ATST detonates from a like huge chunk of warehouse -10 that smashes into it. It explodes. Mercer, you take 14 damage from the explosion of the warehouse. Varick, you actually take 4 wounds. Not ignoring armor, so whatever armor you have, it would take it off of that.
And mine is straight 14 after, no matter what soak, right?
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay.
I'm sorry, how much did you say that I had taken?
4.
Okay, and so I don't actually take any thanks to my armor.
Perfect.
Hey, leave some for me. I thought it was my job to blow up the whole place.
So, I don't know if I can, but basically, as soon as that explosion goes off, I imagine there's going to be like dust and debris flying by the corner that I'm hiding behind. But I'm going to want to make use of that chaos and the low visuals and stuff. That I want to step around the corner and just, if there's anybody up, I want to start chopping them down and try to use that to my advantage.
No problem. I mean, as you go around the corner, the smoke, even that like high-pitched whine from the explosion, you see staggering out a bleeding Stormtrooper. He's clutching his side. A piece of the metal like support struts from the warehouses, like it's just kind of embedded into his side. He's carrying his blaster rifle, kind of like just dragging it along the ground, and he's just holding his side as he's coming out. He notices you and kind of looks at you for a second, and he attempts to try and raise his blaster rifle. I'm going to give you 1 attack because I mean, obviously, this is like an opportunity attack. You're in pretty decent shape, and he's not. It would be a difficulty of 2. I mean, you're actually of 1, because I mean you're standing right there. You have a vibro sword in your hand, and this guy is just like, he's not putting up a fight.
I will use a strain to activate my internal genetics to get a boost die as well.
Okay.
So 1 hit and 4 advantage.
What you did not notice is the other Stormtrooper, who is also a bit injured, sees you do what you do best, and I mean you just hack this guy up. Stormtrooper, just the one that's still alive, looks at you and just has that same reaction as every meme on Facebook, just that nope, and just starts like taking off. He's not having any of that. So he just books it out, and you were left nothing with a massive cloud of dust and a dead Stormtrooper on the end of your blade.
Okay, so I'll just stare at him, and then as he turns and runs, I will kick the dead one off my blade and flick it, the blade free as he falls, and I'll stand there a moment as the dust and my cloak flapping in the wind, then I'll turn and run off in the direction that Mercer went.
Okay. So for you, as opposed to Mercer, it would just be a straight line. Matter of fact, I'm doing this the city way. There we go. Okay, so can you still see me? Yeah, you can.
Yep.
Can you see the actual map?
Yeah, map.
Okay, cool. So obviously, from you know, kill those dudes, and you'll just be basically running in a straight line like that.
Yeah.
So now, Kojimal, this explosion goes off. It is like the glory of, and I'm going to butcher your god's name, Amshak? Amshak. Oh, cool. Okay, I didn't. Like the glory of Amshak himself, this like fireball shooting up, and this just pure light, and then this shock wave that hits you. It's just a massive blast to your chest, almost like you feel, the hand of Shock like clapping you in the chest with this, this warrior approval. Looking around at the aftermath of this explosion, you see two of the Black Claw saboteurs are clearly dead. One of the stones crushed one of the abdomens of one, and it's basically it just died on impact. The other one, his head just been crushed against the side of the wall by a flying piece of stanchion. The others like kind of shielding themselves, kind of look with their look around and kind of check out the scenario, but it's very difficult to see through all the choking dust. Now at this point, are you staying with the Black Claw saboteurs, or are you heading over to where you believe that Varick had gone to?
When the explosion first goes off, like you said, Kojimal immediately pauses and turns in that direction. He just closes his eyes, and he just, for a second, he just basks in just the heat and the force of that, almost reverently, as you said. It's as close as he can come to the presence of his god, and that's his first reaction, his first thought, and then almost. It's almost like he's a bit of a small person, but his second thought is not again. Like first Salin gets the glory of blowing up the prototype, and now someone else blew up the warehouses. He's like, my God will not be pleased with this. That's his first immediate thought. But then he opens his eyes and he sees the destruction all around him, and the two dead Vradix, and he immediately checks for the other Vradix, and he sees that they're a bit disoriented, and he'll direct them to the warehouse, and he's like, friends Vradix, follow me to the warehouse 1, let's rally, and he'll move, rushing through the smoke to warehouse 1, and he'll want to try to get what supplies he can get from there to help with the rest of the attack.
And as you run into warehouse 1, much like what Varick and Mercer had seen, you see, except this time, the farthest wall as you run in, the farthest wall had been partially collapsed. The sun and dust kind of creating this kind of murky, light brownish kind of a light filtering through the building. You do see quite a few crates of grenades, of thermal detonators, and other things like that. The entire facility is completely full of ordnance.
So when he sees that, he'll just stop at his tracks right away, and his eyes widen when he takes in the full magnitude of the demolitions that are around him. I mean, you told us in the last session there's like thousands of items in this warehouse, and his jaw will drop, and he'll almost fall to his knees in reverence and just say to himself, like, the blessings of Amshak are indeed plentiful. And after that, he'll jump up and he'll just start opening crates till he can find more thermal detonators, frags, whatever's nearby, and he's just going to start filling his pack with as much as he can shovel in there. And he'll pass some out to the other Vradix, and he'll say, we need to create more chaos and disorder. Do not destroy warehouse 20 A or B. Anything else, destroy it, level it. And he'll say, do not blow up this warehouse. Do not blow up 20 A and B. And then he's going to start to move out to try to rendezvous with the others, heading towards the ATST hangar. That's going to be his objective as well.
Okay.
Yeah, he's generally going to move towards 183.20 A and B, but via passing by. He's going to stop by the ATST hangar on his way there. Play with his new toys. and he'll direct the Vraddicks. If they want to follow him, he'll direct them, he'll lead them. But if it looks like they just want to spread out and break off into smaller units and set their own demolitions, then he'll let them do that.
Okay. So the saboteurs begin running off in their direction. They actually end up running off. I'm going to, hell, let's use black. So they end up running off down south. They feel they want to start with 183-4, and they begin kind of running off in that direction.
Yeah, so I would have, before they left, I would have showed them the map and made sure they understood which warehouses were off limits for destruction.
No problem. As they go off on their own, and they're going to have their own little cut scene in just a moment. Just to let you know, we are going to kind of end in a little bit, so I am going to start to kind of build up to the cliffhanger. So you begin heading in the direction of the ATST.
Yep.
Okay.
And I'll move through the destroyed section as well. It'll be good cover for me. All the smoke and debris.
And as you head over, it doesn't take you very long to kind of link up. Right now, so that would be you. That would be Mercer, and Royal Purple will be Varick. So the three of you are here right now. Also,
how is Mercer's condition at the moment? Is he down? Is he okay?
Oh, he looks like hurt, like probably the worst you've ever seen him. He's probably got smoke and sludge and from the explosion all over his face. Well, you can't tell because he also has those claws on him. And you see him just preparing the gun and kind of like getting it ready to lower it, so that he's kind of like my picture where he's going to be shooting from the waist, and the other hand's going to be using it, and he's looking at everybody. But yeah, he's up and he's ready to go. He doesn't seem like it's going to stop him. But
so Kojimal will jog up to him. He'll emerge through the smoke, and he'll see like this like soot-covered, battered form of Mercer. He'll figure out pretty quickly that Mercer's the one who must have at least been involved with the explosion, and he'll check him to see if he's hurt. But he'll approach him kind of with a grin and wagging his finger. He'll be like, "My friend, are you trying to steal my glory? I thought we agreed that I would be the one for this."
You are going to be the one. I had no idea what was inside there. I thought it was an officer's quarter. But that's not the case right now. We have to get to that other side. In order to do that, I'll cover fire. You guys, I'll get over across, because this is one of the two buildings that are going to get attacked. So we have to get out of here quick.
And I'll pat the full backpack. You can just see this backpack is rammed full. And I'll just pat it, and I'll be like, well, there's a lot more where that came from. So lead on and just tell me where you want these.
I'll cover fire. You guys go.
Okay.
Then I'll step out from the building, looking more east, and kind of seeing if there's any troops around. If there are, then I'll basically, that's my target. I'm just going to use the repeating blaster towards them as the other two take off. Or if there's nobody, then let them take off. I'm not going to shoot if there's nothing there.
And that makes total sense. I'm actually just rolling for some funny stuff that's going to be happening, so don't mind me.
I like comedy.
Well, we'll see about that. Okay. So, as the three of you are kind of like locked into that one spot, very quickly you hear footfalls. 5 stormtroopers are coming. Basically, use gray for stormtroopers. No, orange. So you see these stormtroopers kind of like just kind of all 5 of them are kind of like in a horseshoe pattern around this alleyway, kind of protruding out. They have, each one of them has their blaster rifles, and the one with the light repeating blaster heads is kind of pointing at you. all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you hear, "Look out!" And all of a sudden, the Vratics, the Black Claws, pumping their fists into the air with blaster rifles and carbines and light like hand blasters. You see them like zipping by on a skiff. It looks like an Imperial skiff, and they just run over at least four of them, or five of them. However, as they run over five of them and just just smash them out, one of them actually gets a shot off on one of you. And
I hope it's not the guy with the big bag of explosives.
let's find out. So, Kojimal, you're hit.
Of course I am.
Of course you are. Because I'm an arbitrary bastard. So, Kojimal, you're hit pretty hard, and you're hit for about 10 wounds. He hits you square on, but it's the last thing that this Stormtrooper ever does, as he's smashed and almost pulled into the ram scoop of this skiff. As you see the Black Claws like pumping their fists and cheering, and chittering amongst themselves, and the five they just keep going.
I'd like to even make that a little bit more thematic and say, like, because I took that much damage, it's almost as if he just popped off the shot. There's Kojimal normally could have done something to try to mitigate that damage, dodge, twist, something like that. But because he's got this big bag of explosives, his first instinct was to just turn and cover the bag, and he just takes the shot in the back or something like that, just to protect the explosives. And that's why he took that much damage.
Perfect. And you're hit pretty bad, but also the Stormtroopers are also down for the count. They're done. So they're gone, and now it seems that you guys have a fairly clear path. All you have now, and all you have to worry about now, is crossing this really big area.
So Kojimal, when he got hit in the back, he just kind of dropped to one knee with a grunt, but then he picks himself back up and just shakes it off. He's like, "That's a close one. Let's get out of here before another patrol comes." You gotta love those Braddocks, though.
Give me a few second head start, then follow, and then I'm going to take off running towards the alley between -17 and -16.
I got you covered.
And basically, I'm going to just pour everything into it and run as fast as I can.
Sorry, you want to head back in this direction?
No, forward, between -17 and -16, 183.
Where are you? Where those three episodes
Oh, okay.
Yep, right there.
You just basically want to make the big run.
Yep, and
I'm going to be
hopefully,
covering.
if there's anybody watching, I will draw their attention and open them up for, some action from Kojimal and Mercer.
Kojimal's going to reach into his bag of goodies, and he's going to have a frag in his hand.
Okay. All right, so I need you to make. Are you trying to do this like stealthily, or are you just trying to like book it? Like
I'm trying to do it openly to hopefully draw any fire, but do it as, I'm going to use my innate abilities and my force enhancement to, if I do draw fire, to hopefully make it harder to be hit as I make for the alley.
Okay. Yeah. So roll me then. Yeah. Roll me a coordination. It'll be a difficulty of. I guess you're trying to get someone's attention, so it'll be a difficulty of about 2.
Okay. Let me pull this up. Oh, too many windows.
I know that feeling.
So here we go. Coordination. Oh, come on now. So, sorry.
That's all right.
It's like every time I click, then it shuts the window down. So,
Damn you, internet.
so 1, 3, and then minus boost die, and first die. Here we go. Big money, no whammy. Wow.
Nice.
So,
Nice.
3 success, an advantage, triumph, and a dark side.
Okay. So, as far as obviously the successes and the advantage, you run and flip. You make it. I'm just gonna put the purple on. You run. You make it all the way. And keep in mind, my terrible drawing is not indicative of exactly the path you're running in. You make it all the way up to here. And you just manage to flip out of the way as an ATST that is right here, that had just come up from this direction. It was hiding here, so it was impossible to see from your angle. Had walked up. There we go. And basically just fired a few shots at the ground in front of you. However, I do want you to let me know about your triumph. And what happened with your triumph, at least. Triumph's a big deal.
Let's see. Well, I don't want to just like complete the run into alley. That'd be kind of boring. How tall is this thing?
An ATST is probably about 20 feet tall,
Yes,
give or take. You know.
Well, if I can, what I would like to do is I see it and flip out of the way. I want to kind of alter my move so that I'm going towards, instead of straight down the alley, more towards the warehouse 183-17, and jump and kick off the wall to jump on the the ST and start scaling it towards the top if possible.
Okay. And you run, you hop, you do this like beautiful maneuver, and as you begin scaling it, you see a blaster pistol, or you see a blaster shot shoot past, and in front of you stands, or at least, excuse me, off to the side, right in line with the with this garrison. Excuse me, this garrison right here. You see at the top is Major Durant. He's got a direct bead on you near the top of the ATST. Like, it's spot on. Don't you move, you rebel scum. And that's where we're going to end it today.
Oh man.
I know, right? It's like, oh, God, you're such a jerk. I think it's a good place to stop, just to kind of like freeze that moment right there. I have been Mike. I I'm the GM of this crazy game. Of course, I have 4 phenomenally amazing players with me, and we'll just do some outros, and yeah, we'll stop it for this evening, and we'll pick it up next time. So, for my immediate left, Varick, can you please outro thyself?
Dennis, player Varick. As you can see, another fine, subtle plan is pulling off in our mission here. Very stealthy as usual. Want to thank our GM and the rest of the players for another great game. Check out the Tides of Change, OSG, and we'll see you next time.
Indeed. Kojimal, if you could also...
Sure. So I'm Dev from the YouTube channel What the Dice, and yeah, I want to thank everyone for watching. It was a great start to our battle here at the Warehouse District, and I'm definitely looking forward to seeing the second half of this fantastic assault.
And I'm hoping you guys definitely pull this off, because, oh man. Mercer, you could outro yourself, please, sir.
Hey everybody, again, this is Gabe B. It's been a pleasure playing with Mike, Dennis, Devin, and John. And for those who are watching, thank you so much, and hopefully we can keep the ball rolling or the blasters firing for you, for your enjoyment.
With the detonators exploding.
Yeah, if you guys throw them in the wrong place. And of course, John, if you could please outro yourself as well, please, sir.
I'm John from Red Dice Stories, and I've been playing Salin Naval, the bird-wrangling, X-wing flying, TIE fighting, evading Quarren pilot. Just to echo what everyone else has said, thoroughly enjoyed the game. I'm looking forward to seeing the imminent collapse of this Imperial base next session. Thank you very much to everyone involved.
Indeed. And yes, thank you to all of you who have been watching. I've been Mike, and I don't know what these guys are going to do next, and I also don't know what the hell's going to go on. So all I know is that there are 40 of the biggest birds on this planet of Thyferra on their way. An AT-ST blocking their path, and I can't even call me a prime number, because I can't even. I wish you guys all a good night. I hope you enjoyed yourselves as much as I have, and hopefully as much as my players have. And please check out the Tides of Change, the one-shot group, What the Dice, Red Dice Diaries. You know, if you're here, hey, why not subscribe to my channel? I mean, whatever, man. You know, I'm not your boss. You know, you do what the hell you want. But as long as you guys have a great time, and most importantly, get inspired. Peace out, guys.